rocking through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody. It's a cloudier, sprinklier Friday.
Wow, it is very dark out there still. I didn't just realize that.
Well, and when I left the house this morning, it looked like it could rain, but it didn't look like it had rain yet.
Right.
And on the way to work, I started seeing sprinklings on the windshield on the way here.
Hey.
So I was like, oh, maybe it's going to begin. But it didn't really full on rain up, and I don't think it's really done anything more than sprinkling since I've been here.
Honestly, it was bone dry when I walked out. Like, I didn't even feel humidity in the air.
Yeah, but it is like nighttime dark out there.
Yeah. So I'm saying, if we turn this light off, it'll be, I mean, we can see a little bit of the light, but
yeah.
Matter of fact.
Oh, you're going to do it for experiments? Yeah. Check us out. We're going to Mr. Wizard and see what it looks like. Yeah. I like doing the show that way. Makes me happy.
Oh, I have to tell you, by the way. So, pull back of the curtain. Mike had an event that he had to assist in the preparation of on Wednesday. So,
yes.
I had to. So I was here to fill in to record the pastors for the Country Club Road Church of Christ.
Yes, I was setting up tables and chairs for Rise Over Roswell. That's what I was doing.
There you go. Yeah, Mike had responsibilities elsewhere, so I was recording the pastors, and we came to a conclusion on Wednesday, and they might actually bring this up next time they see you on Wednesday.
Okay.
You need to turn the light on when they come in to read in the afternoon.
Well, they can. They're more than what I tell them every time.
They can't, because they both pointed out they had flawless reads, and they're like, the difference was the light, because the light was on.
I know. I told them, if you ever need to turn the light on, turn the light on. I do it because it drives me batty crazy.
I understand. But the conclusion that we came to was, when they mess up, it's your fault.
Oh, they're looking for excuses now. Yeah, they're looking for excuses.
Mm-hmm. Any port in a store, my friend. Any port in a store.
Yeah. And what they're talking about is when you see the show here, or if you watch the video, there's the fluorescent lights in the room, which they're on during the morning show because we have cameras and everything in here. I hate these fluorescent lights.
I understand.
I'm very much of Tom Hanks's character in Joe versus the Volcano. Okay. If you ever watched that movie, at the beginning of the movie, where he's going to work and everything's real gray, and he's like walking into the salt mine to his job, and everything's gray, and while he's walking in, he goes, "Look at the fluorescent lights. Look at them. They're sucking the life out of me. They're just sucking it right out of me." And that's the way I look at these lights. Like, yeah, they're sucking the life out of me.
I get it. I understand. But at the same time, I don't like to have to get down here to see my keyboard.
Yeah. Well, and
I have a black keyboard, so it's hard to see anyway. So like when I'm looking for delete and I accidentally hit home or like page down, that's annoying to me.
And I get that. I can see. It doesn't bother me. I'm in here skitty bopping around.
I was born this way. You think I want these?
And you know what? I get it. For you, that's what works. But if I'm sitting in here by myself all day, why do I placate to people that aren't in the room?
I understand. I will say this, and I just noticed it as we were talking.
Yeah.
The fluorescents do provide a certain extra level of sheen that you never experienced before.
They get a good, and I haven't done anything up here for a couple days, so it's a little scruffy.
You need to get a shirt that says "My eyes are down here,"
or a hat. A hat. No, what I need is one of those brim without top hats.
Oh my God! I'm gonna for your birthday. I'm gonna get you the Guy Fieri visor. You know, the one with the bright blonde sticking out of the. I'm gonna get you that. Heck yeah.
Yeah, because either people will be like, "It's Guy Fieri," or "What Muppet are you again?"
See, if you really think about it, you are now you've opened up your whole world to like endless wig possibilities. You could be anybody.
In theory, I could have done that before. I mean,
Still.
I didn't have enough hair to.
And in fairness, before you would have had hair to clip it to.
Yeah. Well, now I could Velcro it. If
But
I
like
just
I
let
always
it grow out a little bit, it'll Velcro.
There you go.
situation.
Hook and loop, if you will. I always see like with the women who wear the wigs or whatever, they have to put all their hair under that giant bald cap anyway.
Yeah.
So you're a step ahead, I would think.
Exactly. Well, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
You really could. I mean, I know that your goal is to broaden your cabbie hat collection.
Yeah.
But I really feel like you should broaden some kind of wig collection.
To be honest, I wish I was a young man in the 70s.
Don't we all?
Because yes, but that bush hair,
that bush hair. Okay.
like the 70s, it was popular in the 70s for white people too. They
Right.
had there was go watch Mr. Cocktail.
Yeah,
they all had the big
that's
hair.
true.
You know what I mean? I know I would look like a clown shoe wearing it, but part of me wants a Horseshack up here with the big.
The problem though is my hair traditionally grows in a different style. Like I could never get that. My hair grows up, but it grows up and back. So I get
Right.
pompadour.
Yeah.
Is what I end up getting. That's like the genetic hairstyle of my family. The one my dad every haircut I got was like, "Yo, get that pompadour look."
Well, and in when I had hair in full form, it would default to mulletot. It would go mullet. It wouldn't get real out this way. It goes.
See, bless you. See,
thank you.
I was never blessed with the mullet hair.
Yeah.
When my hair grows, I think this is because I'm from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
When my hair grows extra out, there's only one spot on the back of my neck that grows out, so I have a natural rat tail.
Oh.
That's disturbing.
See,
Like,
mine goes the other way. It curls out this way, and then I start getting like when it gets to a certain point, then it curls out, and so I get the wave woof off the end there.
Can I tell you that I've reached a point in my life where I feel like I should maintain a certain length of hair,
Yeah.
but it's taken me this long to get to this point in my life because I have always, it was like ingrained in me from childhood, haircuts are a necessity.
Yeah.
Only. You only get them when your hair is ridiculously out of control.
Yeah, I get
And so
that.
my entire life up to into adulthood, I've thought that way.
Yeah.
Only just now I'm like, oh, I could maintain a hairstyle if I wanted to.
Yeah, I was the same way. My dad was a bald man then too. You know, he had this hair on the back and sides,
Superstar Billy Graham.
but nothing like going on up here. And so he wouldn't have to get his hair cut as often. But yeah, my brother and I, it really was okay. It's a rat's nest. Let's get the boys to the barber. You know, and yes, even older, but even through my adult life,
It took therapy for
Yeah.
me to be like, you don't have to live like this.
yeah. But ever since I went through the military, I've never kept in the 4 years I kept it within regs, but you know, sometimes on the bare minimum of regs. Thank you, sir. And then afterwards, I never went back long. Because the hair was less and less up here over the years, and that time after the military, that's when I was in denial a little bit. Like I go to the haircut, like a salon or wherever you get the haircut, not salon, but like a
barber.
yeah, not even barber. That middle, like the
You went and saw Terry.
like pro cuts kind
Okay,
of level,
all
not
right.
quite fancy highfalutin salon, but not exactly old bald guy with old.
Well, see, I
70s
still would
ashtray
consider
either.
Supercuts the barber shop.
Yeah, but I mean, when I say barbershop, I mean like old dudes that have been cutting hair for 30 years. The chairs and everything reminiscent of the 1970s.
Lots of racism being tossed around.
An actual barber pole hanging
Right,
out there.
right.
That's it.
6 Eddie Murphys over in the corner, one of which in clear white face.
But that was like my barbershop experience growing up too.
Right, right.
Like my dad used to take me and my brother to this old. It was old.
So you're saying he was old?
Old barber shop, and it was an old man named Duck who was also bald, and he had a bunch of bald jokes in his throughout. You know, when he in between the 70s and 80s fashions of the day hairstyles all over the wall, there was a bunch of bald is beautiful jokes all
Nice.
over it too. And then there was Duck, and then Duck had a guy that was like younger, but
Mm-hmm.
probably only been cutting hair for like 30 years instead of 50 years.
Right.
and so that was growing up, man. We go in there. It always reeked of like cigarettes and stale candy.
Barbicide.
And the, whatever that blue water smell is. That's where I went to haircuts. I was a grown man before I went to like a pro cuts and this is fancy. Whoa. What do you mean you're going to wash my hair first? You know?
Right.
I mean, these guys were busting out straight razors and shaving people. You know, that's what I grew up to. So, which there was a lot more of back in the day. Now you do that and it's bougie artisany.
I will say this. That's the one thing I do miss about going and getting my hair cut is having my hair washed.
Yeah.
Like that was always my favorite. Just having someone else, usually a pretty young lady, wash it, like rubbing my head. That's just nice. I don't get that now. I get my friend cuts my hair, so I just wash it before I go.
Yeah.
You know?
You can get that at Duck's Barbershop either.
Yeah.
Duck's like, can I shampoo you up?
And in fairness, you want to be looking up at Duck, looking down at you, double chin and all.
Yeah, now good. Stick to the straight razor. That's much safer. He was good with a razor, though. He put him in his 80s. He's
See,
straight.
that's the one thing I've always wanted to do is go and get a professional groom.
Yeah. So I didn't have that problem back then. I was young, but I saw men do it, and he was because I was fascinated. I was like, because every time I saw that, all I thought of was, all right, he's going to get it, because in a Western or a mafia movie, when this happens, somebody dies. And so I was always like, I would never see what happens to the end. How does this work?
You always get that image of, the leather strap in the corner, and he's sitting there sharpening the straight razor, and then the bartender's over here cleaning glass.
Yeah.
Somebody walks in, everybody stops what they're doing.
Yeah, and they get the foam out of that foam making thing that's not like Barbasol. It's whatever their professional hot foam making thing is. Yeah, it's good stuff. All right. Big thank you to McDonald's.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah.
Everyone's like, haircut, creamy foam made me think of McDonald's. But big thank you to McDonald's. Swing by any location here in town. They got you covered. Try that new sauce. If you haven't tried the sweet chili sauce,
It's good.
It's good. It's real good. Try it with some chicken nuggets or with your hot fudge sundae. Doesn't matter.
Take
It's
it for a
pretty good.
dance. You can play with it a little bit. Put it in whatever.
You can eat it right out the can.
Straight out the container for a quick pick me up.
It is good stuff. Give it a try. And, of course, don't forget to download the app. It is your friend, compadre. You can download it, order your food, especially got all the kids and everything. And rather than go through the fight in the drive-thru of who wants this and that, and I want this toy in my Happy Meal, you can do all that through the app in the comfort of your home.
Yeah.
Or, where you can keep the kids wrangled. And then just go through the drive-thru and have a nice, quiet time picking up quicker, by the way, your food through the drive.
It's the best when you drive through and they just go
That's right. I love the
flash you the
thumbs up.
thumb. Oh, and by the way, right now weekdays, when you order breakfast, you can unlock 2 times the points. So double up those points too.
So them OG McMuffins worth 2 times the points right
right.
now. Very good. But big thank you to McDonald's. Swing on by. I haven't had a chance to go through the bag. I might be doing that here in a wee bit. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. Here in just a few minutes, we have Amy McVeigh-Tejas and Desi Aguilar, I believe, is with her from Leadership Roswell Alumni Association. And today is the final day to get applications turned in for Teen Leadership Institute 2024. I've been telling you all week, Friday's a day. Friday's a day. Guess what? It's Friday. It's the day. So
It's the day.
So we're going to have them join you and kind of talk a little bit more about it, give you a last-minute reminder, and urge you to go out there and get signed up before end of day today. Chaves County Manager Bill Williams scheduled to join us in the 8 o'clock hour, talking Chaves County Commission meetings and everything else happening around Chaves County this morning. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, 9:15 or so, Elliot Rodriguez with Lone Depot joins us for his monthly visit. He pops in from once a month to give us sage advice. There it is. For when it comes to home ownership and buying your homes, and loves particularly working with first-time home buyers. So we will get the latest and greatest from Elliot here.
First time. THYME. It's not as good as Sage legal advice, but it's still spice humor, all right?
Good job.
Thanks.
You cooming up in the world.
I'm not here to freaking impress you. Cuming up in the... Ah! Right there!
Boom, baby. That's why I'm
oregano.
the king. That's why I wear the paper crown.
There you go. Oregano. Calculator.
He's parceling them out. All right, it is 7:20. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty strong low-pressure system crossing the southeastern states today. We'll be getting some showers and maybe a thunderstorm. Staying cloudy and cool, too. We'll be in the low to mid-50s on the afternoon high. Rain looks pretty likely for the overnight hours, too. Mid-40s and then a few lingering showers on Saturday. We're in the upper 50s. Our low hangs around on Sunday. Showers and 60. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
And thank you, Steve. Currently, I'm doing my weather. Hold on real quick. I was doing two things at once, and I never do that well. Currently, 47 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 60%. Winds currently out of the northeast at 13 miles per hour. Rain. You like rain? We got rain. Allegedly, more rain. Although I've seen a little rain and hinted at a lot of rain, but I haven't actually seen a lot of rain yet. But allegedly. We do have a, what are they saying for chances today? Like a 80% chance of showers today, mainly before 3 p.m. High of only 45. That's the part that you're not going to like too much. Winds will be out of the north, 15 to 20 miles per hour. They expect between a tenth of a quarter of an inch of rain possible today. Tonight, we're looking at a 50% chance of showers. Cloudy, 42 for the overnight low. Winds out of the northeast, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, 30% chance of rain, mainly before noon. Patchy fog rolling in as well. That should be lingering around till about noon as well. Cloudy for the day with a high of 55, so a little warmer. Northeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday night, we're looking at a 70% chance of showers. Mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 42. Northeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Sunday, 70% chance of showers. Mostly cloudy with a high of 54. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. I think I'm sensing a pattern here. Sunday night, we're looking at a 70% chance of showers. Mostly cloudy with overnight low of 40. Monday, when you head back to work, a 50%, not 70%, but a 50% chance of showers. Mostly cloudy, 53. And then rain chances continue Tuesday and Wednesday. And it looks like it wraps up about Wednesday of next week here, rain chances. So, all right, it is 7:23. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we're going to talk Leadership Roswell Alumni Association. I've been telling you all week, sign up, sign up, sign up. Friday's the last day. Friday's the last day. It's Friday. Today's the last day. So we're going to remind you about it, talk about Leadership Roswell next. Don't go away.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details, 2nd and Sycamore, and 1309 Southeast Main.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
Every piece of land has a story, written by those who work it. But everyone's story is different. So the question is, how will you tell yours? Behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, mower, or Gator utility vehicle. Run with us and start telling your story today.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Over the next several weeks, we want to give you 5 key elements to a great marriage. This is taken from an article by Drs. Les and Leslie Perot. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage. The first one is ownership. taking responsibility for the good as well as the bad.
1 Corinthians 11:31 says, "Judge yourself so you won't be judged." It's talking about the judgment of God, but it also applies to our relationships, especially the ones that are closest to us, like marriage. If you'll just take responsibility for your own actions, it's so much easier for our spouses not to have to point out and criticize us.
So we have to take responsibility for our actions and our reactions, our attitudes and our mistakes. You know, most people would learn from their mistakes if they weren't so busy denying them.
You aren't responsible for what your spouse does. You are responsible for doing your part. So just decide today to do your part and take ownership.
Are you or a loved one having a hard time getting to your medical appointments? At Artesia General Hospital, we believe that transportation should never be a barrier to good health. That's why we're excited to announce our new non-emergency medical transportation services. Each of our vans is wheelchair accessible, and our friendly certified drivers go the extra mile by meeting you at your doorstep and ensuring a comfortable ride to your Artesia General Hospital services. Rides are available Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Schedule your ride today by visiting artesiageneral.com/transportation or calling 575-736-8211.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion, unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning from Leadership Roswell Alumni Association, of course, we have Amy McVeigh-Tejas and, of course, Desi Aguilar back with us. And then, all right, the big test. See if I botch this or not.
And if he flunks, you say so.
And also joining us, a teen leadership alum, I guess would be a great way to say this, who we've had on the show before, Clarice Coelho.
Perfect, sir.
Oh, did I do it?
Yes, good job. He's on a roll. Good job, Mike.
All right, Friday's over. We're shutting down the show. See you all Monday. I cannot do any better than right now.
Mic drop.
Quit while I'm ahead. See you all Monday, everybody. Well, good morning. Welcome. And I know. She has such a beautiful, unique name that I don't want to. I'm so bad at botching names. I wrote it out phonetically. I was like, I'm going to try really, really hard not to botch this. So
no worries, sir.
I passed today's test. So thank you very much. So first off, how you guys doing? You all ready for the weekend? Enjoying the
spring break coming.
More than ready.
To me, this is nice weather.
It is
because
amazing.
We get sunny and hot all the time. I mean, that's kind of old hat. Cold and I can do without the wind, but the rain.
It's very good.
It's kind of a nice
morning.
Change of pace and
I'll take
things
it
like that. So yeah, absolutely. But what we're really here to talk about is today is the final day. We've been talking about this for months now, hot and heavy for a week now. The 2024 Teen Leadership Institute that the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association puts on every year is coming up. Now, the event itself will be in April 19th and 20th. It's a 2-day event this year, and it's a action-packed full 2 days of stuff. If you leave energetic, I don't know. I think you're going to be good and tired by the end of the 2 days. Just saying. But unless Red Bull gives you wings, I guess, and they're young. And I should say that they're like 17 and 18. Never mind. They got plenty of energy.
Right.
That's true. That is definitely. Yes.
Never mind. Disregard that. It was a bunch of 40-year-olds out there.
The staff is tired.
That's right. Staff is ready for a nap.
That's true.
We had to designate staff nap times.
That's true.
But anyway, this is something that Leadership Roswell alumni has been doing for quite a few years now, and it's really become a tradition at this point. And Leadership Roswell Alumni Associations really known for, well, we'll say 3 things. First thing is they support the programs of Leadership Roswell, which is our, I guess, kind of a extended thing for adults, which is basically teen leadership, but in a bigger, broader. It's basically a bigger version of that. This is kind of scaled down to a 2-day event and focused more for young teenagers versus adults. But anyway, that's the first thing is Leadership Roswell alumni are all graduates of that program. And they go on to support and help that program in the next year's class and so forth. And so that's one thing they do. But the 2 big things they're known for in the public world, one is our Leadership Roswell Alumni Banquet. Where we honor usually about a half dozen excellent people every year that are real leaders in our community in their various circles. But the other one is Teen Leadership Institute, and we've partnered really with New Mexico Military Institute. Without that partnership between leadership, this thing would have never happened because we got a bunch of people, but they got more know-how and the facilities and everything else to do all this. But and so it's really a 2-day event designed for high school juniors and seniors to really learn skills, foundation building skills, leadership, problem solving skills, a lot of things that will serve them well regardless of the path they choose after high school, whether they go to college, whether they join the military, whether they go, I'm going to start my own business or go to trade school, or I'm going to go on walkabout for 2 years, or whatever it is they're going to do. The skills they learn in the Teen Leadership Institute will translate for that. And so let's put proof in the pudding here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, talk a little bit about your experience as a teen leadership.
I think my experience with the team leadership was just amazing. I think it was such a great opportunity. And I think like being around so many like teenagers the same age as I, and like looking for the same thing, like looking to improve themselves, looking for like learning more, like because many people nowadays they're just like, oh, I don't want to learn this, I don't need this. And it's so good when you can like be in a group that everyone is just like looking for knowledge and looking for the future, looking for like improving themselves.
Absolutely.
So I think it was such a great experience. All the environment was so positive. All the good energy, the positive energy from there is just amazing.
Sure. And obviously you're a student at the New Mexico Military. Matter of fact, if y'all remember, she was on a couple weeks ago talking about some of her other achievements here.
Yes, sir.
And if you're trying to figure out her accent, she's from Brazil.
Amazing.
I should make you do this in Portuguese because none of us will understand it. But
maybe one person.
It sounds pretty. But getting back to what you're talking about here, these are the kind of things that you experience in class every day and stuff. So for you to see that in a different perspective or a different setting is really cool too. And
it's
so,
very nice.
And I imagine for you that's kind of cool because not everyone in the class, there's you and 29 others, they're not all have the same background as you.
Yes.
They don't have even institute background. They come from various high schools. So their experiences and their way of things, even some of the stuff like obviously through using military style training at the NIMI, they, some of this stuff's familiar to you and stuff where it's going to be a little bit more foreign to someone that hasn't experienced that before. So I imagine you almost defaulted to leadership a little bit. I'm thinking where leadership kind of found you on that one, where by default, because of where you've already had your experience, kind of had a little bit of knowledge in this kind of
stuff. That's true. Like in the institute, like we have classes of leadership classes, so we are kind of this environment all of the time.
Sure.
And especially we have the ropes course club, which includes the LRC with the leadership reaction course.
Sure.
So basically we are like, you have the option to like put those skills like in practice every like week or like every day actually.
Absolutely.
Especially with the leadership positions in the Corps that we have. For example, I'm a troop commander in the institute, so I have like many responsibilities aside just my schoolwork.
Absolutely.
So I'm kind of like on that like leadership aspect like almost every day.
Sure.
And going to the team leadership and like getting like in contact and talking to other people who do not have the same background as me.
Yeah.
It's very nice to see like the different perspectives, and it's very nice to like share all this experience and like put all this knowledge together. Because many people might think, oh, the people from the NMMI, they are very like, oh, they already know everything. They're going to behave horribly. They're going to be thinking they're the best one in the world. But that's not true.
Sure.
It's very like there's always more room to learn.
Sure.
And like talking to people like who does not have the same foundation or background as I at the institute, it's very nice. And there's always something new to learn.
You touched on something there that it kind of sparked a thought that it's a real kind of reminding that you're kind of making a real good point about, the teen leadership and really what the values that are taught at NMI and a lot of stuff here. It's that, like you said, like you're saying, people expect you. Oh, they're from here. so every human being on the planet puts stereotypes in their head. You see a certain image of someone, you're automatically thinking, okay, this is probably a little bit of what they're about, and and obviously when you see someone in uniform in me, okay, this is a little bit what I think about them, and most of it's positive, but like you said, there's a sect that aren't familiar with military and things, and so
But that doesn't mean we know everything.
They're going to assume you for authoritarian or rigid or something like that.
Very bossy.
And then y'all get together, 30 people from really 30 different backgrounds, and next thing you know, guess what? The ones I thought were stiff shirts aren't so stiff. The ones that we thought were loosey-goosey, they really are a little bit more rigid than, or you know what I mean? Or, you tend to find out that you have more in common or there's more relatable, despite the fact that your backgrounds are completely different. And so this course is very good at showing you what's common instead of what's different.
Exactly.
If that makes sense.
And we did try to take away some of those stereotypes by, having everybody come in and look the same. We don't have cadets in uniform or anybody
everyone's
wearing
in a
their
t-shirt,
everyone's
pants. I guess depending on the weather, shorts or t-shirt.
That's right. That's right. Exactly.
Yeah. So
it's April. It could go either way.
Come in on an even playing field, basically.
That's right.
They're all equals when they come in the door.
Exactly, and that's what they and here's another thing too is the exercises and activities that they go through over the course of 2 days. They are designed to challenge each of these students, designed to put them out of their comfort zone a little bit. Part of leadership and part of becoming better is forcing you to do things that aren't natural, that aren't something that you feel comfortable with, because you might run across it someday. And being an effective leader, you have to know these
Well,
kind
and
of things.
it's kind of exciting because this young woman's in for a surprise too, because everything that we did last year, it's on and totally different this year. So there's honestly no advantage.
So
which is kind of a challenge for this amazing
so you're
woman
not going to
too.
be able to play know-it-all.
She's all, oh yes.
Although I got a funny feeling she's going to adapt and be just
Hello.
fine.
Yes, hopefully, not a problem.
We'll find out.
It's fun. Something for her to look forward to.
Part of good leadership skills, able
definitely.
to adapt to the situation to meet the needs of the particular.
It's going to be a good practice.
There you go.
Absolutely, too. And by the way, here's another part, too. All the students that attend, the high school juniors and seniors, will be eligible to be awarded scholarships at the end of the weekend. And the student body does play a part in that role of selecting that. It's not just a couple of people in the corner. I've been watching you for 2 days. You seem like a pretty smart individual. No. It's your classmates, your peers, the ones that you're in the dirt with, so to speak, doing this stuff. They have an input on that. And by the way, if you came last year as a junior, you're more than welcome to come back as a senior and kick butt and win another scholarship.
There you go.
Definitely. That's what I'm going for.
There you go.
Yeah, we have one in the room. That's what I'm trying to do just out here.
And she actually came in as an alternate last year, too.
Oh, so you got just in under the radar.
Yes.
a little
Our
bit.
best stories is this one. She was literally called, I think physically ran across the campus and showed up like in 5 minutes.
Yes,
and championed
exactly.
through.
It was very unexpected.
Yeah, and she's kicking butt in school, too, with her STEM. Because she was on here just talking about some of her achievements in science and stuff like that. So, this is just another layer of that onion.
She's a great story, and if people are listening, one of our other favorite story is a gentleman that said he would absolutely positively never attend. He wasn't going to school.
Ooh,
he was
the
going
curmudgeon.
to the PD Academy, and he won a scholarship too. So he stands corrected. Everybody has a
Well, in all fairness, if he
everyone
didn't
has a
think
need.
there's nothing at teen leadership that would help him at the police academy,
Well,
he probably
it's that
needs to do some more
perception,
stuff.
right? You might just be perceiving things a little bit differently. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Got to get out of your box.
Absolutely. Well, and I even would argue, and you could, Desi, speak to this because your career in the military and everything else. There is yes, military's regimented and things like that, but there is a misconception on military folks and things that, yes, because we've been trained, it just in our world, it just helps us because how we regiment, that's just how our training kind of navigates us through life. But that doesn't mean we do everything in our life that way. You know what I mean? There's my brother, he went from, when we were teenagers, he was a slob. He was literally pigpen. That was that man, and he went to a college or a university almost as good as NMMI. He went to the SUNY Maritime Academy. It's like kind of like the Merchant Marine Academy for the state of New York. It's a military academy, and that's where he did his college work. But very similar to NMMI, with you have your Rat Week and you have the all of the trainings and stuff. And first years generally don't have it as good as
the privilege.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Same model. Except they do boats and stuff. In the summer they get on a boat, go out in the ocean and drive a boat.
Very
no
cool.
boats here.
Yeah, no boats here. Yeah, New Mexico not known for its boats. But anyway, that time of him in there, like he went from Pigpen to like regimented everything. Now he's curtailed it back a bit, but like it was so anal that like that we caught wind of his to-do list. And most of us have a to-do list. It's like, all right, go to the store, get groceries, do laundry, pick up the kids, whatever your laundry list is. My brother's was not just do laundry. It was like separate whites from coloreds, put whites in washer, turn on washer, put laundry soap in washer.
Very detailed.
Yeah, I mean, it was literally fold clothes, put clothes in drawer. I was like, wow, this
detailed.
is like if you had to remind yourself to put them in the drawer, maybe we ought to work on some memory skills here. But anyway, that people think that's what happens, and again, breaking down those barriers and
going
saying,
again,
you know what,
stereotype.
they're pretty. They like to cut a rug and hang out and joke too. And sorry, cut a rug's an old dance term.
That's true.
Even like my dad's time. But anyway, but that's what the beauty of this 2-day event is not only do you get to learn and take these amazing things that you're going through and you go through together and build confidence, because that's the other thing too, is getting you out of your comfort zone and making you do the ropes course or doing some of the higher stuff that, let's face it, makes people a little nervous when you get off the ground a little bit. I'm one of them. But when you achieve it and overcome that obstacle, now you may still not be a big fan of running around on ropes. I get you, but you did it. You did it, and that for me, that was like when I was in Boy Scouts and we went on a high adventure camp and there was one of the outposts called Lumberjack, and you had to do the tree climbing with the spikes in your feet, and you've seen that like on ESPN, the Lumberjack guys do all that. So we had to do that, and I don't like heights. So me on a pole with two spikes and a belt in my hand saying, all right, get up that pole. I was like, yeah, right, okay. But I did it, and I'm not doing it again. But I got up there, rang the bell, and did my thing.
You've done it.
Got my butt down and said, I did it, shut up. But you know what I mean? And so, and that's what you'll go through those moments in this weekend here. So please, sign yourself up if you're 17 or a junior or senior here, or parents, get your bee in your bonnet and your kid today, because unfortunately by the end of day today, we can't take any more of these applications. Now the good news is you can do it all digitally, so you can do it real quick and easy. You don't have to go and drive anywhere to pick up an application and then drop it off. If you shoot an email, that's one quick way. Yes. Desi will get this email, but shoot an email, and this is all one, no spaces, roswellteenleadership@gmail.com. All one word, roswellteenleadership@gmail.com. And Desi will get you an application today. If you're a Facebook user, you can easily Google search on Facebook. Still, it probably is Google driven, but it's there. I don't know if Meta has their own. I don't know. Ask those guys. But anyway, get on your Facebook and do search Leadership Roswell Alumni Association, Teen Leadership Institute, anything in that wheelhouse, and the page will pop right up. On the page or one of the posts you see, you will see our teen leadership flyer, which if you're watching the video looks just like this. If you're on the radio, don't stare at your screen. You won't see it. Your speakers, you won't see it. Go back on the video later and look. But you'll find a QR code at the bottom of that flyer. Just zap that bad boy and the application will come up, and then you can fill it out and send it on to, and Desi will get that digitally here. But again, this has got to be done by close of business today. We got to get T-shirt sizes and all the logistical stuff that needs to go to the printers and all that.
And if you can't get that QR code to work for whatever reason, some people might have trouble, just shoot me an email and I will send you the direct link.
Yeah. If you're like me and QR codes are like oil and water, just don't mix. Well, then just shoot it again. RoswellTeenLeadership@gmail.com. Send an email to that address, and you'll get an application.
There's no charge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've just mentioned that. That's kind of a big
no
deal.
Fees. That's a
By
big
the way,
deal.
there's no fees.
There's
this is
no
completely
fees.
free for students to attend. However, you do need to sign up, and you do need to get signed up by today.
Mm-hmm.
And the only requirements are you have to be a high school junior or a high school senior.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And by the way, if you're listening or you have friends in Carlsbad, Ruidoso, send them the link, Artesia, anywhere that they can be here April 19th and 20th. Send them the links or something. Yeah, homeschool. We're looking for every high school junior and senior that's available, up to 30, of course, to come and sign up for
Disclaimer.
Yeah, we'd love to have 100.
Can't take them all.
We don't have enough resources to do 100.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
You'd be spending all day at the tower.
And we're still looking for sponsors. We will never stop until the end. Now,
Absolutely.
the deadline's the deadline, but we are still looking for sponsors, whether it's a donation or anything,
Sure.
so we can get back to these kids.
Absolutely, because
that's our duty to get back to
scholarship monies, things like that, and if the money isn't given all out this year, if you give it like right at the last minute, then it'll go into next year's teen leadership institute.
We would love nothing more
kids.
to have additional blessings for these
Absolutely.
amazing kids.
But put it this way,
sure.
the more people that donate that money, the more scholarships are given out here on April 19th and 20th.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you right now, if there's 30 kids there, generally speaking, all 30 are pretty well deserving, and it's pretty hard. So by y'all keep donating, we don't have to make hard decisions. We're just like, you get a scholarship, we can Oprah Winfrey it up here, and you get a scholarship. That'd be nice to do that, but we don't get that much money.
Donations beyond monetary, too. We're still collecting items for 30 backpacks.
Okay.
So promotional items type of thing and blessings to go in the backpacks, a.k.a. swag. We love swag, right?
Yeah. And think of what teenagers like.
Swag is good. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
think of what teenagers like, and we think, do you think a teenager like that? Yeah, put in the back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not readers.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but even like if it's, obviously pens, pencils, that stuff everybody can use. But
Definitely.
Teenagers love snacks. So if you want to donate some jerky or
some candy,
some nut candy, or
sweeten them up,
some nuts
there you
or
go.
something, these are all things that, and especially if there's a few cadets in there, because I know how dorm life can be, and
yes,
those are prized possessions to have in the dorm here. I see all the weekends at the grocery stores, and there's mom and dad, and there's the NIMBY cadet, and there's like this big grocery shop, and thing full of these huge snacks things of Cheetos.
Sure.
Yes. Usually it's the same.
We have
That's
a
where you see
whole
them.
inventory inside of our room.
Well, I would imagine that's not only life, but inventory. That's currency.
Yep.
Because I imagine, you want something bad
You
enough,
can't
it's
be.
like, hey, I got Funyuns, I mean, that works, more game time, you want to borrow the game? I got Doritos. Give me the game, Doritos. Yeah, it's very, very, I know, being in the military and stuff, I know how life works in those communal things, and all it can be currency if you do it right. But again, Teen Leadership Roswell's annual 2024 Institute is coming up April 19th and 20th. The deadline to sign up is absolutely drop dead today by close of business. We need to get those applications in. It's going to be a great, put it this way. There is so many classes of kids that have gone through this now that now we're seeing really they're coming back, because that's part of it too, is each year there's usually one or two students that have gone on, they're maybe even done with college, and they're living their kind of family life now. They come back and, oh yeah, I was here 8 years ago, sitting in your shoes doing this, doing that kind of stuff. So it's and when you see that often, that is a true testament of the program.
Yes,
the people that don't look fondly back on experiences don't tend to go back to revisit them. Just saying, that's not how people usually do it. So when you have year after year former students come in, because I say students, and some of them are not students anymore, come in and really sing the praises of this program. That's the biggest advertisement I can tell you. I can tell you how great it is, because I talk about how great a lot of things are in here, but at the end of the day, when there's people time and time again going back, juniors that go back a second year, graduates that come back years later to help or to visit or whatever it is, that's the kind of stuff that's the real testament to how excellent this program is. And I always say it's kind of like next hour we'll have the county folks in, and they always do the thing at the county meeting where they honor the employees that have been there 30 and 20, and every year they have a bunch of those. And I'm like, that's a sign that's a good place to work.
Yep.
When you got a bunch of people that work there 30 years. And
that's right.
It's no different here. When you got people coming back saying these things, that there's no greater testament to how strong a program is. So get on the stick today if you've not signed up. Shoot an email to roswellteenleadership@gmail.com. Find the QR code online for this flyer, off this flyer, whatever you got to do. Get that application. Get it turned in by close of business today. It doesn't cost you a dime. There's not. The only commitment is 2 days of your time, and that's 2 days well spent. I promise you that.
Yes.
So, good deal.
And I can tell for sure it's going to be
and the proof's
really
in the
well
pudding here. So you're going as a senior this time,
Yes.
right? So
yes, sir.
Good deal. So you can't come next year. Not as a student.
Not as a student.
But of course, I'm just curious. Just because I don't get to have you in here often.
Mm-hmm.
After graduation, 1 year from now, where do you see yourself?
I don't know. I want to keep studying after I finish my high school.
Yeah.
However, I'm not sure exactly which
I think you have
place I'm gonna
options
go.
and you things, but do you want to stay stateside and go to college? Or do you want to go back home close to the
No,
family?
I want to stay studying in the United States.
Okay.
But as I said in my other interview, the main issue that I have is financial. So
Sure.
paying for college is very expensive, especially when you convert the currency from Brazil to here.
I would imagine.
It's 5 times more expensive.
I can tell folks out there this is a very smart, bright young lady, and if she deserves scholarship money, this is the one right here. 'Cause I got a funny feeling we're going to be hearing more about her down the road here.
Hopefully, that's what I wish.
Yeah.
Well, I see
You will
myself
be saying that
studying
name
in-
again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Lots of pressure.
there, so.
It's not the last
I got a
time we're
funny
going to
feeling
hear.
you're not going to have any problem finding money for school.
I hope so.
Between one way or another, something's going to work out.
So a quick plug leading into that. I want to remind everybody during spring break to apply for the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico
End of the month here.
scholarships. And the excuse, and procrastination, the names look better at the top than they do the last one on the spreadsheet.
That's right.
So you don't want to be number 98. You want to be in the top kind of thing.
By the way, you qualify for a few of those.
So
scholarships,
Historical
I believe.
Society Continuing
She's already
Ed,
filled it
we've
out.
got applicants from 18 to 60.
Oh, wow.
On continuing ed.
Oh, that's a first.
STEM scholarships, character scholarships, humanities and art. If they apply, you could apply. If they to yourself, you could apply for all of them. You
Absolutely.
can't apply for more than one. So
Absolutely.
amazing individuals. We love anything. We are all mutually in for the kids, and any way we can connect and help these.
And I tell you
That's
that again, those are done through the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, and I'll tell you the committee that has the arduous task of going through all the application
this
packages.
is rough too. This is all rough.
It is, yeah, exactly.
It's a good problem to have.
I always say make it hard, and I feel bad, but because you do, but it is because I will tell you, every single application is worthy of it.
Just like these kids.
Yeah,
It's the same
and it's
thing.
so hard. It's literally picking your favorite kids, and it's impossible to do that, and it really is. But they have to do it, because there's only a finite number of dollars and X amount of scholarships they can give out. So somebody's going to be
Challenge is on, though. We could give a lot of scholarships on April 19th.
That's right. Yes. That's what I was going to say. Make our job easier. Just come in with dump trucks full of money, and then we can give everybody scholarships.
Desi, wouldn't you love to have that problem? We have
need
so
that
much
problem.
money. We would have blessed with a lot.
That's right. We keep blowing our nose with all this cash. It's like Dumb and Dumber. It's like,
Oh, let's have that problem. That's funny.
But awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you
Good
so
luck
much.
at the next team leadership here.
Yes, sir.
Maybe we'll have a few more dollars to add to the totals there for you here. But again, folks, get your applications in by end of business today. Shoot an email to roswellteenleadership@gmail.com or find this flyer on Facebook. Scan that. Oh, is now on the other camera? On this Facebook, right there. Right there. And that way you can get that done. Yeah. By the way, this part of my head is available for advertising for a very small fee.
Oh, that's so cool.
Can we
Put
touch
your
your
logo
there?
right
Mike,
here.
yes.
Right there. You can put
We should
your
have put
logo.
the TLI on the back. The logo.
Oh my
Come
God.
on, Desi. Why was the logo not on the back? No, I'm just kidding.
It looked like a, and if I do it right, I can bounce, and it'll look like a sing-along thing on the deal. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Very
Sponsors
good.
can also email us.
There you go.
Yes, please shoot an email or track down Desi or Amy here, and they'll be happy.
So, Mike,
Well,
you mean
yeah.
that whoever donates that substantial amount of money to us today, it going on the back
I'll
of
put
Mike?
it right here. Yeah. You want a logo? I'll put it right here. You know?
Oh, that's awesome.
Although that could bite me in the butt depending on who does it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
It was
what
on
you
the radio, ladies and gentlemen. So the
Boudreaux's
challenge
butt paste
is on.
donated $1 million. We're gonna put a Boudreaux's butt paste logo right here.
Challenge is on. This could be fun, Clarissa.
Oh my
I'll
God.
have to wear a Boudreaux's butt paste logo. They donate $1 million right here.
That's awesome.
Good deal. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And
Yeah, of course.
And come in from time to time. Pop in.
Definitely,
next
definitely.
time you do another great thing, which is probably right around the corner.
That's right.
Thank you guys and congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, it is 7:55. What do I got to do before they get you in the news? Let's do some local news, Kim Commando update, and that should tie us over till regular news. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Now that the filing deadline passed this week, we know who will appear on ballots for the June 4th primary contests. James Townsend did not draw any opponents for his quest to take over the Senate District 34 position. The Senate District 42 contest will feature Republicans Larry R. Scott and Stephen McCutcheon. The House District 55 race will feature Republicans John Jack Volpato Jr. and Catherine Brown. And there will be a Republican primary for Eddy County Sheriff between Victor E. Martinez and Matthew Todd Hutchinson. The winner of that primary will advance to face Libertarian candidate Andrew Kennedy. Another contested primary will feature two Republicans for Eddy County Commissioner, District 3. Republicans Justin Wilson and Philip John Troost both filed to run for that seat. In other news now, New Mexico expanding the reach of a program that includes providing support for housing, health care, and transportation to youths raised in foster care as they turn 18 and age out of the child welfare system. This was under an executive order signed Thursday by Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham. The order, signed by the Democrat governor, is expected to add 20 young adults every year to the Fostering Connections program, who may not otherwise qualify after they move to New Mexico, or because of legal delays, as courts confirm child abuse or neglect and parents surrender their children voluntarily. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I've heard every tech myth about a phone. That's why I'm here to help you sort through fact and fiction. I'm Kim Commando, America's Digital Pro. Myth number 1, charging your phone all night wrecks the battery. Nope, modern phones have lithium-ion batteries that know when to stop charging. Number 2, private phone browsing equals being invisible online. Incognito mode doesn't save your browsing history, but your ISP and the websites you visit can. Number 3, always close apps to save battery. Constantly closing and reopening apps can actually use more power. Number 4, more megapixels means a better phone's camera. It's not that simple. The quality of the sensor, lens, and how the camera processes images matters much more. And finally, number 5, drop your phone in water, just turn your phone off, remove the SIM card and case, and then let your phone dry out for 24 hours before using it. Keep your tech smarts going. Join over 500,000 people who do every single day with my free newsletter. Sign up at getkim.com.
AI might be the most important new computer technology ever. It's storming every industry, and literally billions of dollars are being invested. So buckle up. The problem is that AI needs a lot of speed and processing power. So how do you compete without costs spiraling out of control? It's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. OCI is a single platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI needs. OCI has 4 to 8 times the bandwidth of other clouds, offers one consistent price instead of variable regional pricing, and of course, nobody does data better than Oracle. So now you can train your AI models at twice the speed and less than half the cost of other clouds. If you want to do more and spend less like Uber, 8x8, and Databricks Mosaic, take a free test drive of OCI at oracle.com/Kim. That's oracle.com/Kim, oracle.com/Kim.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The judge in the Georgia election interference case against former President Trump says Fulton County DA Fani Willis can continue to oversee the case only if Nathan Wade, the special prosecutor with whom she had a romantic relationship, leaves the case. Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee expressing concern for an appearance of impropriety should both Willis and Wade remain on the case. Willis does have the option of appealing today's decision. We don't know if she will. A Trump attorney says that while Team Trump respects the court's ruling, it believes the judge did not afford appropriate significance to the prosecutorial misconduct of Willis and Wade. Powerful storms cut a path of destruction across parts of Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio. Numerous injuries, at least 3 deaths in Logan County, Ohio. In Milton, Kentucky, James Ashton tells WCPO-TV things got really bad really fast.
Nothing. Wind was picking up, blowing. Kept trying to blow my door open, so I had to stand in front of my door so it wouldn't blow open.
State police report many significant injuries in Winchester, Indiana. What's described as a confirmed large, extremely dangerous tornado touchdown near Plymouth, Ohio. One political observer says Democrat efforts to cater to anti-Israel forces in the U.S. could backfire.
They don't want to have their coalition fall apart.
Political journalist Josh Kroshauer says that's clearly the motivation for President Biden's muted support for Israel.
The White House is terrified of its left-wing base.
But he says Biden and the Democrats face the very real risk of losing more support than they gained by distancing Israel.
The majority of the American public, you see this in poll after poll, is pro-Israel.
Kroshauer believes the president is more supportive of Israel than he lets on, fearing backlash from inside the party. Bob Agnew, Capitol Hill.
More on these stories, townhall.com.
Are you over 30 and putting off life insurance? It's time to get a quick quote from Ethos.
Important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Australia planning to resume funding the main UN agency in Gaza. Many donors suspended their support a couple of months ago following allegations that some aid workers aided Hamas in the attack on Israel.
Australia's Foreign Minister Penny Wong said she'd been advised that UNRWA was not a terrorist organisation. She told reporters that almost $4 million in aid for Gaza would be released immediately to help children and families who were starving. Israel had accused a dozen employees of the UN agency of taking part in the attacks by Hamas on October the 7th. The United Nations is investigating the allegations, and some UNRWA staff have been dismissed. Funding from the United States, the largest donor to the Palestinian Relief Organization, is still suspended.
The BBC's Phil Mercer reporting from Sydney. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. The Fed's tightening limits on a chemical that's used to sterilize medical gear.
The EPA found a higher than expected cancer risk at facilities that use ethylene oxide. It's a gas used to clean devices, including catheters, syringes, and surgical gowns. A new rule is expected to reduce emissions of ethylene oxide by about 90%. The American Lung Association called the rule an important step forward to protect human health from cancer caused by ethylene oxide. The chemical is classified as a pesticide. It's also used to ensure the safety of certain spices and other food products. Ed Donahue, Washington.
Nissan and Honda announcing they'll be working together in developing electric vehicles and auto intelligence technology, sectors where Japanese automakers have lagged. Both sides say details of the non-binding deal still being worked out. They add the companies will be working together, but their products will remain separate and distinct. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to our The Deuce of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday, everybody.
Willkommen.
That reminded me of something, that a conversation that Sean and I and our boss had yesterday that I still can't envision yet. So, my boss, breaking news in our world, my boss informed two of us yesterday that they're doing a reboot of the Naked Gun movie. And obviously Leslie Nielsen is no longer with us, so he can no longer play the role. And that the Liam Neeson's character will now, Liam Neeson is scheduled to play
the Leslie Nielsen
character.
Which is actually kind of funny thing. I almost feel like that's part of it.
Yeah.
Like we replaced Leslie Nielsen with Liam Neeson.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering if it's a joke. But two,
it could. Okay.
I can't fathom Liam Neeson in that character. Like, I know he's done comedic things, but it's not Leslie Nielsen.
Okay, but here's my argument.
And I know Leslie Nielsen did serious things, but I just don't think Liam Neeson's like personality, I don't know, I don't see it translating to be as funny as the way Leslie Nielsen did it. But like, I don't like Leslie Nielsen or Liam Neeson. I can't get these people.
See?
Liam Neeson can be funny.
But okay, but here's my counterpoint.
He's not slapsticky like that.
Here's my counterpoint. If you go back in the history before the Naked Gun, before Police Squad, before all this happened,
Leslie Nielsen.
Now I'm doing it. Leslie Nielsen was a serious, dramatic actor. Everything he was in was a dramatic role. And the only reason, and I will argue this to my grave, the only reason Naked Gun works, Airplane works, any of those, is because they are played straight.
Yeah.
They have to be played straight. The humor is how deadpan it is that all this nonsense wackiness is happening.
I completely agree with you. I don't think Liam Neeson can pull that off.
I think he could.
I think his serious does not translate like that. I think it's like Chuck Norris doing it. Even when Chuck Norris do it, it's like, that dude could still kill you. You know what I mean? He's still got that air. Like Leslie Nielsen was a serious actor, but he didn't have like, I have a certain set of skills that will, you know what I mean?
This is legit. This is ABC. Well, okay, I went to try to go to it, and it said, oops, page unavailable. Let's go. Here's Variety. All right. Naked Gun remake set for 2025 by Paramount. Wow. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and Paw Patrol sequels dated for 2026. That was just the headline. But yeah, this says Naked Gun. Okay, this is interesting. The current, let's see, where did this thing start? Seth MacFarlane and Erica Huggins producing via their company Fuzzy Door. So it's a Seth MacFarlane joint.
Okay, now it's gone up a couple cool points.
Now, if you remember, he knows how to use Leslie Nielsen. One of my favorite scenes. Fun morning show drinking game. Take a shot every time we mess those names up.
Exactly.
Liam Nielsen.
Yeah, Liam Nielsen.
Yeah, don't make it worse, man. That's already hard.
My favorite scene in Ted 2 is Liam Neeson trying to buy a box of tricks.
Yeah, but he's still playing, I've got a certain set of skills.
Right.
And I think that's why that character is not that. And that's why I'm worried that he's going to turn it to that, and that's not what makes that guy funny.
Okay,
or that
I will say
that
this,
character funny.
and this is sort of kind of off topic, but I will say this. I am more interested than I ever have been before to check out the Orville, because I've seen several of the clips pop up on like YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
And it looks like legitimately kind of funny.
Have you watched none of the Orville?
I've watched none of it.
I watched some of the Orville, and I did like the first episodes, and then for some reason it just fell off to me. But yeah, I watched the first half of the first season of the Orville, and it was pretty funny.
The only thing I've seen is like shorts. Like I saw the one where the one alien gets addicted to cigarettes, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah.
The other one was there's this like alien thing where he's got like a tube going from his nose into his stomach, and it's Joe Swanson from Family Guy. What's his name? Patrick Warburton.
Yeah.
It's Patrick Warburton. He's just like, dude, sick. I'm like, it's just Joe in alien form. But he can walk.
The best part about that show is that it's actually better than current Star Trek. It's more Star Trek than current Star Trek.
In all fairness, Star Trek is not good anymore.
That's sort of why I held off.
It's but it's so.
It's because it's more like the new generation.
Star Trek is hard for me to digest.
Yeah.
But this is more Star Trek than current Star Trek.
But even like Picard,
more human than human.
Like Picard, the first season of Picard on Paramount Plus is all right, but after that it falls off the rails. It really
because it doesn't have the same.
It
plays more.
They're trying to drag out a story that's already been dead. That's what it is. They're beating a dead horse. Is what they're doing. But and that's Star Trek's problem.
You could tell Seth MacFarlane's a Star Trek fan.
Oh, he's a huge Star Trek nerd. And to be honest, I would throw at you, even if you're not interested in the subject, if you like Seth MacFarlane, then you'll like whatever he does. Like the Orville, if you hate Star Trek and all that, but like Seth MacFarlane, you'll still like this show because it kind of spoofs all of that. It kind of, it's still got the Seth MacFarlane warm fuzzy message at the end. But
that's what I'm saying.
It spoofs hard the
It's
stuff.
got the good writing and the world building that comes with that.
I'll just
territory.
say though, if anybody can replicate the Police Squad, the Zucker Brothers style of writing,
it's Seth
MacFarlane.
MacFarlane. Yeah, I would agree with that statement. And to be honest, I don't. And I need to do my research on this. The writing team for Resident Alien is strong too. I don't know who they are.
You know what?
I'm gonna
make
strong.
I'm gonna make a guess and see if I'm right. I'm gonna guess it's Lord Miller.
I have no idea, but it's well written.
Lord Miller
is
behind a lot of the new.
I don't think I saw their name in the credits.
Let's see.
But the farther I'm getting into it, now I'm almost done season 2, and it's just hooking me in even more, man. They're doing such a great job with that show.
It's not in my heart. But it's in my pants.
Is that
why they call it In Love? Because it's in the pants?
Chris Sheridan.
Ring a bell to you?
It does. I just don't know what from. Chris Sheridan.
Is there any relation to Ty Sheridan?
I don't even know who that is.
Or Taylor Sheridan? Or Yellowstone?
General Phil Sheridan, Cavalry Civil War General. I'm the only one who's going to throw that reference out.
Okay, that's why.
Okay.
He was... he wrote on Family Guy. He was also part of the. He's done a lot with.
So he's got a little hand in the Seth MacFarlane world a little bit.
Yeah, he wrote basically for seasons 7 and 8 on Family Guy, and he's worked on Living Single. Looks like.
Oh really? That's like a '90s show.
And he wrote for Titus and Yes Dear also.
Oh wow, Titus, huh?
Yeah.
So he's done his chops because those are all 90s
These are his
shows.
writing credits, not his like.
So that's what in the 90s he was a writer.
Yeah, and currently he's a showrunner,
assistant writer.
question.
Now he's
You know who's
big time.
You know who's surprisingly funny is Daniel Craig. Have you ever seen Knives Out?
You know, I have not watched those, and I kind of want to watch them. I just never watch them. Like, I see the commercial, I'm like, I should sit down and watch that.
If
And
you've
I never
ever
do.
seen Crank, the Crank movies, those are a great example of how he can be kind of off the wall.
Yeah.
Crank 2 is a fever dream.
I think you're talking about not Daniel Craig, though. You're talking
No, I'm
about...
talking about Jason Statham.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Statham. He's talking about Daniel
Yeah,
Craig.
yeah. I got that mixed up because I was looking up Chris Sheridan. But no,
He's no Liam Neeson.
Jason Statham is another
Or
one of
Leslie
those that can absolutely play both sides.
Yeah.
I could see him doing it. I can see Liam Neeson pulling this off.
Yeah, but again, with Statham, he's got to not do the voice. He needs that I'm not a tough guy voice.
I'm going to say it's going to succeed or fail based solely on his performance.
Although the fact that McFarlane's behind it, I feel like it'll be all right. The comedy's going to be fine. They'll figure it out.
Are either of the Zuckers still alive?
I think so. I feel like there's
get
some
one of them involved. I mean,
I feel the Zuckers are around, or at least their kids, or somebody that's. I feel like there's some still Zuckers in the industry doing their thing.
The Zuck.
Are the Zucker brothers real? No, that's not what I was asking. Let's see.
Yeah, they were our generation's kind of version of some of this stuff before Seth MacFarlane. The Zucker brothers.
Oh, the trio split not long after 1988 because they basically said after a while it became too many guys sitting in the same chair, so they don't actually work together anymore.
Oh, which
Abrams, Abrams, and Zucker don't.
They don't like each other. They got tired of each other.
Mm-hmm. The joke got old.
They haven't done anything in 20 years. That's mend fences and
right time heals wounds, right?
Yeah, crank something out here. But anyway, got to thank the fine folks at McDonald's.
Yes,
as they do each and every single Friday, provide us with delicious breakfast treats. If you have not, I highly recommend you try the new chili, sweet chili sauce that's for a limited time with this campaign that I don't know how to pronounce or say with the anime.
Wick Donald's.
Wick Donald's.
Like John Wick.
Is it a John Wick thing? Like
No. I'm just saying that's a good way to
something I can relate. Thank you, Roy. I get that. You know my head. Wick Donald's sauce, and it's pretty good. And
it's delicious.
We decided a couple weeks ago that we think it's a kind of a amalgamation of when they introduced the breakfast sweet chili jam and the mambo sauce together, which the mambo sauce is more of based off a DC barbecue sauce. The sweet chili jam is a jelly, like a breakfast. This is like if they had a kid, it's the sweet chili sauce that you now see here for.
Wait, does
Donald.
DC have a barbecue sauce?
Well, that mambo sauce is based off a restaurant in DC.
You know what?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, no, the one we have in the fridge is already open, so it's tainted. I was going to say, we have one of those sweet chili jams still in the fridge. Like sealed. Just saying, we could do a side-by-side.
We could. Let's procure a fresh one, though.
I think, maybe we'll hold that off for next Friday.
I want a fresh one. You want a fresh one?
You
want a fresh one?
You want a fresh one? Coming over here with that kind of attitude, you're going to get yourself a fresh one.
Don't forget, download the McDonald's app.
Yes.
Utilize it. Start earning rewards. Start getting free food. Start using the deals, which technically are so good that you don't use your reward points. That's my problem. But get that bad boy. Start. You can use it to have Mick delivered. You can Mick food that Mick through the drive-thru, or you can Mick food that's Mick food right in the Mick lobby, and Mick do it up there in the playland.
Be careful. You're one away from offending the entire Irish listenership of our station.
Oh, we get these are.
There's only so many Micks you can fit in there.
Well, but download the app. It could be your savior.
Yes,
it could be your savior. I am Irish. I could say Mick all I want. I own it.
There you go. It's our word.
It's mine.
That's right.
Ginger pride? Oh, not ginger. Oh, dang it. But I am Irish.
There you go.
I spit in a cup to tell me. I guess our guest isn't here. Usually,
seen yet, no.
I got a feeling they didn't have a meeting, and I just didn't pay attention. All right, let's do this. It's 8:19. Let's get you up to date weather. I might come up with a backup interview in case I have my calendars off here. But usually Bill comes the third week, and I hadn't heard different. So let's do this. It's 8:19. Let's get you up to date with the weather. Spoiler alert: rain is in the forecast.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty strong low-pressure system crossing the southeastern states today. We'll be getting some showers and maybe a thunderstorm. Staying cloudy and cool, too. We'll be in the low to mid-50s on the afternoon high. Rain looks pretty likely for the overnight hours, too. Mid-40s and then a few lingering showers on Saturday. We're in the upper 50s. Our low hangs around on Sunday. Showers and 60. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 47 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 66%. Winds are currently out of the northeast at 16 miles per hour. We are looking at an 80% chance of showers throughout the day. High of 45. So, and actually says 47. We're beat our high. They told me the high is 45. But the current temp is 47, so we're breaking records already. Winds will be out of the north at around 15 miles per hour. They say we can expect anywhere from a tenth of a quarter of inch possible during the day today. Tonight, we're looking at a 50% chance of showers. Skies will be cloudy with an overnight low of 42 degrees. Winds will be out of the northeast, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, 30% chance of showers, mainly before noon. Could see some patchy fog rolling in till about noon as well. Skies will be cloudy for the day with a high of 55 degrees. Northeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday night, we are looking at a 70% chance at showers, mainly after midnight, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 42. Northeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Sunday, 70% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, 54 for a high with northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday night, 70% chance at showers, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 40. And then Monday, we're looking at a 50% chance of rain, mostly cloudy, 53. And rain chances continue into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Looks like by Thursday, we wrap up rain chances and warmer. Like we'll be 67 on Wednesday, 73 Thursday. Tuesday will be in the 60s, Monday in the 50s. So it gradually gets a little warmer as the days progress after today here. All right, it is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll see if Bill Williams joins us here. If not, I'll play another interview or something. So don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture, and I want to tell you about our store-wide sale happening now. All items in every department are on sale. Upgrade your living space with power reclining sofas and love seats or beautiful sectionals with charging ports. Create ambience with amazing table and floor lamps. Get that long-awaited restful night's sleep with the new Serta mattress. Every department is on sale from our existing prices, so come down to Glenn's Furniture on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Get your tickets now as Red Zone presents A Night with C.J. Stroud, Saturday, April 13th at the Bulldog Pit in Artesia. Previously announced as A Night with Jason Witten, Jason became unavailable, so C.J. Stroud stepped up to take his place. C.J. is the 2024 Offensive Rookie of the Year with the Houston Texans and two-time Heisman Trophy finalist. Admission is free, but you must have a ticket to enter. Jason Witten printed tickets are still good, and remaining tickets are available at the Artesia Chamber of Commerce. This invitation is courtesy of H.F. Sinclair. Excited about C.J. Stroud coming to Artesia.
Artesia General Hospital's family practice providers support the healthcare needs of every member in your family, no matter their age. With locations in Artesia and Carlsbad, our compassionate experts offer a full range of primary services and can help manage chronic conditions, treat illness and injury, and coordinate specialty care. Whether you need a medical provider for your entire family or are getting on track with your annual checkup, we're here for you. Reach out today at artesiageneral.com/family.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or the frost might kill it. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
Attention Roswell, Carlsbad, Artesia, and all of southeast New Mexico. The University of New Mexico wants you. UNM is ranked in the top 1.5% of all universities in the world, and the only Research One university in New Mexico, with over 200 academic programs and endless opportunities. UNM is truly a world-class university. Define your future at the University of New Mexico, and UNM has increased the number of scholarships for 2021, so now is the time to apply. Apply today at unm.edu. Now accepting applications from Southeast New Mexico.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 8 o'clock. I've not seen Bill Williams yet, so we'll give him another minute or two here. But as a backup, if we don't hear from Bill in the next couple minutes here, earlier in the week, we had Clarissa Gonzalez join us with United Way of Chavez County. Tomorrow night is their big Get Lucky fun evening of dancing, St. Patrick's Day fun, wear you green. They're going to have casino-style games, dancing, of course, a delicious dinner. Peppers will be on the grill for dinner tomorrow night. Today's Friday, so tomorrow night. I'm like, is today Friday still? I was thinking it was Friday all day yesterday, and now today I'm like, what is it? It's Friday. But so tomorrow, and it's going to be at the Convention and Civic Center. They're gonna, it's going to be. This is their big fundraiser for United Way of Chavez County. You can get tickets at the door, but if you contact them today, get your tickets. You could save a few dollars doing that too. But and that way they have food counts and all that. So reach out, get that locked down. But if you want to support many nonprofit organizations in our community, and not, because sometimes you're like, well, they all do such great work, and like Roswell Refuge does such great things over here, and I love what Scouting does, and I love what CASA does, and you love all these, and you want to support them all. Well, the best way to do that is through United Way, and because they support all of these charities, and they do so through events like like tomorrow night, the big St. Patrick's Day Get Lucky event happening at the Convention and Civic Center. All the money they raise from that goes back to charities here in Chavez County. So when you donate and you go out there and eat delicious food and play casino games and dance and do the whiskey pool, they're gonna have a whiskey pool and all that stuff. You're supporting all these different charities throughout Chavez County. So if you don't have your tickets yet, get your tickets and get her going. Hey, you ready on your end, Roy, or you need another minute? I don't know. I think he needs another minute, so I'll give him a minute. A little bit more? Okay, yeah. Let me know when you're ready. He's getting set up on his end and on that here. So we're going to play that interview for you here in just a second. Also want to put this on folks' radar here. Through the Chavez County Health Council, they have their Together with Veterans. It's called SWOT. It's a they're having a brainstorming activity here on April 6th. And then you're like, what does that mean? Basically, they're gathering information. They're looking for veterans groups to come join them for a brainstorming session or a community gathering session for veterans needs. It's going to be happening April 6th. It's going to be American Legion Post 28, their facility, which is located at 1620 North Montana. The event will be, again, April 6th from 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Lunch and drinks will be provided. Activities and supervision for children will be provided, too. So if you need child care, they can get that taken care of for you, too. But the discussion, they want to focus on strengths and opportunities that benefit veterans in our community, weaknesses and threats that may challenge local veterans through suicide prevention efforts, things like that, mental health. So they're really looking for needs, things so we can work on resources and things, what's doing well, and see how we can enhance and do all that. So that's what this meeting's all about. Now, they ask that you do RSVP for this event. Now, there's 2 numbers you can go to do that. It doesn't cost anything. It's free, but they want to RSVP to make sure they have enough food and everything for everybody. RSVP by one's a simple way, just calling 211, which is the Chaves County Health Council's hotline for all things Chaves County relating to if you need healthcare issues or just any of those kind of issues. If you financial like WIC or Department of Health kind of stuff, or if you need doctors, 211 is a non-emergency resource for those kind of things. If you have a medical emergency, 911's what you go. But you can call that 211 and tell them you'd like to RSVP for the Together with Veterans event on April 6th. Or if you don't want to call 211, you can dial a full phone number if you just like pushing more buttons, I guess. 575-550-5585, 575-550-5585, or like I said earlier, just do 211 and they'll have that ready for you. So, all right, Roy, we ready to go? Sweet. All right. So, like I said, earlier in the week, we had Clarissa Gonzalez join us from United Way of Chaves County discussing their big Get Lucky event, which is happening tomorrow night. Here is that interview. Enjoy. And it's hard to believe. It feels like we just did Christmas like last week.
I know.
And now we're all St. Patty's Day and spring, and kids will be graduating from school like next week, it seems like.
Right. Yeah.
It's just flying.
They say, I always tell people, like, those old people don't lie. They told you when you got older, things will start flying by faster.
Right.
Things are going to,
Next thing you blink and it's all over.
Right. So. It'll be Christmas tomorrow.
Exactly.
And then, we'll be working to work for next year's Get Lucky. So, but it's time to get Irish. Get your Irish. Or get your green.
That's
How's
right.
that?
Time for this is now for how many years now has United Way of Chaves? This is as long as I can remember.
This is our 5th year. We've done it for 5 years. It's maybe 6th year. Yeah.
Now, but so every year, right around St. Patrick's Day, they have their Chaves County United Way has their big Get Lucky evening where it's food and dancing and gaming and silent auctioning and just fun.
It's just a lot of fun. Yeah. It's called Get Lucky. It's the annual fundraiser for United Way.
Is this like your biggest fundraiser?
This is our biggest fundraiser.
Gotcha. I know you do have several things throughout the year, but this is probably the one that garners the most support for United Way.
Yeah, of course, we have our drive that we try to get people to donate on a regular basis, that kind of stuff. But this is our annual fundraiser. Back in the day, we used to do a golf tournament. Mm-hmm. And golf tournaments are great. And we'd make a good little chunk. But the one thing that we were missing on a golf tournament is we were only hitting those golfers.
Sure, there's a certain sect of the population that golf.
Yeah, and that's all that does those golf tournaments.
But we all eat.
Right? we all eat. We all want to dance. We want to have fun. Yeah. And there's something that was missing in Roswell was something to do on St. Patrick's Day.
Sure.
So what do you do on St.
I don't think we have a huge Irish following. I mean, I'm Irish, but I don't think we're not in the part of the country where there's just a lot of Irish heritage hanging out here.
Well, and we just did an Irish trivia thing or whatever, a St. Patrick's Day trivia thing the other day at the Liberty. It was great. But we found out when we were trying to figure that out, most of that stuff originated in America anyway.
We'll go with it.
We're just party people. So we just
want an excuse to wear green and eat corned beef and drink some green beer and have some fun. So.
Any excuse to have a great time.
Exactly.
So what was missing in Roswell was something to do on St. Patrick's Day. And so we thought, instead of doing a golf tournament, let's try to do St. Patrick's Day. Maybe we can get a bigger variety of people.
Sure.
We can expose them to United Way.
Absolutely.
Let them know what United Way is about. But at the same time, we'll have a great time. So it's a fun-filled evening. We have, we start with a cocktail hour kind of thing, happy hour-ish. And then we move on to casino gaming. Mm-hmm. We have a company that comes in from Lubbock. They're a fabulous company. They bring dealers and tables, blackjack, craps, roulette, a little poker, a little bit of everything.
You get pretty good prizes and everything for if you do win big here,
right? Because there's not gambling; it's just casino gaming, and then you turn. So we give you funny money when you come in the door.
Yeah,
turns into you turn that funny money into tickets that turn into you can draw for different prizes.
Yeah, cool, really nice, beautiful prizes.
We have some great prizes.
Well, if we gave you cash, then we find out real quick that if you win the cash, then we're not raising any money for United Way anymore.
Well,
because you won it all,
right? You get it back.
So we get generous donations from our local merchants and things with some great experiences and great gifts and things like that.
Right.
And so you come and play blackjack or whatever your game of choice is, and if you have a good night, then you're going to come home with a really nice prize.
It's a fun night, and even if you're not like a seasoned, like used to gambling, or you don't know how to play blackjack, those dealers are fabulous. So they come and they want you to win.
They educate you too.
Well,
so like if you want to learn these games, but you don't want to sit at a thing in Vegas and lose hundreds of dollars before you figure it out,
right? or have people making fun of you, or feel the pressure of like, oh my God, I don't know, do I hit? These ladies will be like, no, normally.
And to be honest, it's a fun table when you always have someone learning the game. Like every time I've played blackjack and there's someone kind of new, and usually you get, everyone's very warm and embracing. I mean, except for the one degenerate gambler that's like, you took my card.
Yeah,
that
you
guy.
just ruined the
But
roll.
most people are like, oh, well, okay, you're sitting it there. That's right iffy on a hit line here. If I were you, I'd hit, but some people wouldn't. So, and you get really that good information there.
Right.
And you're right. Because the dealers, obviously they're experts at what they do, or they wouldn't be dealing. And they give you the tips and tricks. So like you're like, do you always hit on 17 or do you stay?
Right.
And they'll be happy to tell you that.
Even if it's one of those things that you probably should hit, and that the dealer knows that maybe you shouldn't, she'll go, are you sure you really want to?
I wouldn't do that.
because in this place they want, they want the house to lose on this one.
And then part of that too is the strategy of not only your cards, but the other people's cards. So if their cards are all low and you're 17, you're like, well, they might bust too. And that's what the dealer's trying to tell you. It's like, look at the other players. There's a time to hit and a time not to hit. Maybe this is your time to not hit. But that's you kind of learn those nuances by playing this way.
Yeah,
so,
super fun. Casino gaming, like I said, if you don't know how to play, it's not a big deal. They'll teach you, and somebody will, and they're going to take care of you. They want you to win. They want you to have the extra tickets.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the whole thing. We always tell them, like,
And if gambling's not your thing, then no big deal. We got dancing, we got dinner, we got a ton of other activities that have nothing to do with the table game.
Right.
So,
So the whole time the casino gaming is going on, we have a dance kind of going on, and I always tell people this isn't necessarily like a date night thing, because what usually turns out to be like we're doing a lot of line dancing and just kind of individual fun dancing out there.
So come stag and maybe meet a partner.
Yeah. Well, and the DJ's out there playing fun dances, and actually the DJ will stand out there and teach us the line dances, the new ones. So she's got.
So you can get educated on your dance
Yeah,
moves
get
too.
your
If
dance
you're a
skills
little
going.
rusty on some of that, or not up to the latest trends on line dancing and
Right.
stuff, you can get up to that on that.
And while that's all going on, we also have we'll be doing some like 50-50 card draws kind of things, trying to just draw on some extra things. We also have what we call a whiskey and wine pool.
Okay, explain that for folks that aren't familiar.
So that's a cool thing. We've got a bunch of whiskey and wine that's been donated, or somebody brought it to us. And we always tell people it's nothing worth less than $25 on there. It's not going to
top.
Well, it's good, better
not
stuff.
the bottom shelf,
No.
but those top upper shelves of liquor. When you go to the liquor store or the bar, it's the ones higher up on the shelf.
Exactly. So you buy a ticket. They're around $30 or so. I think 33 or something. It's like 3 for $100. And you pull a number. And each bottle is numbered, and so you pull out number 53. Well, bottle number 53 is some Jameson Irish whiskey or something, or whatever it is. It's always something worth
something
it.
Nice.
So it'll be 20. The bottom of the barrel on the alcohol is $25. It could be you could get a $100 bottle of wine or whiskey or something. And
I imagine here's what happens too, because everyone, especially whiskey drinkers, some of them are very brand loyal, or some are, and so. So they're all, like you said, good whiskeys. But then there'll be some people, I'm not a Jameson guy, I'm a whatever guy, or whatever it is. And so you might see the swapping out.
Whatever
you like Jameson, right? Well, I love whatever.
Yes.
And,
whatever you want to do with
your...
you guys can trade afterwards or whatever, but you just can't open it until you leave. But, so that's a whiskey and wine pool. That's a fun little thing to do.
Because there's beverages and things at the event. You don't need to crack into your winnings until you take it home with you. There.
A super great thing that happened this year is that they opened up the Civic Center to the outside vendors. So now we have Peppers back.
So Peppers is on the grill
Yes.
for food
Yes.
on Saturday night.
Food and the
Are they doing
bar.
traditional Irish fare?
Well, we when we started this
You have
out,
to
we
alter
used
it
to
a
do
bit
it
because we're not all corned beef and cabbage eaters.
and we had learned the hard way that corned beef and cabbage on a buffet is not a great idea because it smells horrible.
It is not the most friendly of smelling, but I promise, if you get past that and eat it, it's tasty.
But we did learn
Cabbage
that.
has a certain aroma to it that, it is not party.
Yeah.
Like when you smell cabbage of a party, one does not think of it as a good party.
Right. So we kind of learned that on the buffet that probably we shouldn't have it sitting out on the buffet.
Right.
So we have kind of it's a little bit of a traditional. Of course, we have potatoes and greens and all that stuff.
Other Irish fares that don't smell or isn't as aromatic.
Right, exactly. And then we'll have some desserts that are donated from Albertsons. Has given us some
nice.
fun.
Big thing at
Yeah,
Albertsons.
so,
They do a good job.
They are one of our biggest sponsors for this.
It's rare that I go into Albertsons and not leave with something out of the bakery or something out. You know what I mean?
Right.
It could be bagels, it could be a cake or cookies or pie,
Anything.
but rare do I leave out of there. If I did, it was the ultimate discipline and maybe getting yelled at by my wife one day.
Oh, well, not good for you.
don't eat
Yeah,
that.
no,
Put it
it's
away.
delicious. They have the stuff at the bakery, but gosh, that deli, you get those chips.
Yeah.
They make those homemade chips there.
Yeah,
they have supposedly the best chicken in the world there. I'm not a big fried chicken, but everybody.
I've eaten their chicken. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
no complaints from me. Yeah.
So Albertsons, they're a great sponsor. They also help us. Their floral department and a lot of their employees come and help set up.
Yeah.
So a lot of the decorations and we got like balloon arches and things like that. They're done from Albertsons. So that's a great thing.
Now that we're spring and Easter, it's we do a lot of decorating with flowers and things and gift giving. So either whichever Albertsons you go to, South or here on Second, they have a beautiful floral section in both of them.
Right.
So,
And then, like I said, those ladies come and they help us out. And guys, they help us out tremendously. I mean, with the decorations and setting up. And then Marty, the store manager, is on our board. So
Awesome.
that helps. So it's great. And she's also on the Get Lucky committee. So
Absolutely.
So.
Speaking of which, could you guys use more volunteers on the United Way side? Like people serving either on the board or on various committees or just helping out with events like this?
Yeah, always. United Way board is a great board to be part of. I've been part of that board for a really long time. I'm probably one of the longest standing board members. The reason it is because it's easy to be part of.
Sure.
You help so many people by being on that board. You're helping people. United Way helps people from babies to old
that's just
people.
it. Yeah,
and it's just one shot. You can help it out. It's very organized. We have a lot of great things that go on.
If you're not familiar that way, United Way and United Way of Chaves County, and that's why they're all of the counties and things because we all know United Way is a big, huge umbrella organization. But so when you come to the Get Lucky event Saturday and you come out and spend your money and have a good time eating and drinking and gambling and dancing and doing all that stuff, all of that money is going to stay in Chaves County.
Chaves County, every single dime of it stays here. We do not send any of our money out for, you see those internet things. It's administration fees, and so gets paid $200,000. Well, we do have some administration fees, but we also have some United Way compadres that help us out with those fees.
They kind of cut into that overhead, so more of the donation goes directly to the organization.
So anytime anyone makes a donation to United Way, whether it's through Good Lucky or through the campaign, that money all stays in Chaves County and helps someone in Chaves County or some.
And if you're not familiar, United Way, basically, they'll take all this money and give it back to organizations in Chaves County. And pretty much every major charitable organization in town is usually a beneficiary. Everything from scouting to the Roswell Refuge to Alzheimer's Association to CASA to,
Community Kitchen, Harvest Ministries.
I'm saying things and I'm going to miss a bunch.
So many of them. Big Brothers, Big Sisters. There's so many of them.
Humane Society.
Even if they're not, let's say, one of our agencies at the time, any donation you'd like to make to any nonprofit in the community can go through United Way.
Absolutely.
All you have to do is come in and say, "Hey, I want this to go to XYZ."
You can earmark, talk to your employers. like if you want to like have a allotment taken out of your paycheck each week, $1, $2, whatever it is, and you can earmark that even to specific charities.
Absolutely.
With it. You say, yeah, I want to go through United Way, but I want it to go to Scouts, or I want it to go to the Refuge, or whatever.
Yes.
Or you don't have to earmark it, and they will spread it equally
Yes.
among the charities in Chavez
That's
County.
what happens. If you don't designate your funds, it goes to all of the agencies that we have under our umbrella right now.
So, and that's my and that's my problem, because all these organizations are worthy of it. So I just say, you know what? Rather than single one out, let me help out everybody as best I can on that one.
And we thank you for that. We thank everybody who does that, because it's a big deal. Everybody has a need out there.
Absolutely.
And we really concentrate on projects, on somebody like they need something. Like Community Kitchen needs a new refrigerator or a new oven, or they need to build a new office
if
this
you get a
one
chance,
or whatever. So.
And this will be usually it's like May timeframe. When do y'all do the big members banquet?
Well, we just do it in like August. We'll start our new campaign will start, and then
if you've never been to one of those, you should go to one, because that's when you not only see the impact of United Way, because these organizations come out. Some of them will come up and say, "Hey, with the money for United Way, this is what we did with it," and so you get to. So if you really want to see the fruits of United Way of Chavez County's labor, come to the banquet in August here.
Yeah.
You may already be going because you're a member of one of these organizations,
right.
But get a ticket, it's always good food, whoever hosts it and everything.
Yes.
But you really get to see what happens to all that money and where you see the fruits of that labor.
Yeah, you get to see where the money goes, and you'll see it. Yeah, it's a good thing. United Way is a fun organization. So if you're looking to be a board member, or even want to just help us on one of our committees and stuff like that, or just volunteer on a day, or we can direct you to different agencies. Like, let's say you're new to the community, you don't really know what's going on or what the need is in the community. Well, give us a call and we can tell you, like,
we'll put you in contact with the people that do that kind of thing.
So but one way you can find out is coming to Get Lucky on Saturday.
Absolutely. Again, it's going to be 6 to about 11:30 this
they
Saturday
kick
night.
us out. They kick us out about 11:30.
Yeah, about 11:30. You're like, all right, we're ready to go home.
Yeah.
Smelled enough cabbage.
Yeah, right. They're ready for us to go home.
But come, now you can still get tickets.
Absolutely.
Is the best way to call, or is there should they go to the United Way Facebook or something?
You can do the Facebook. We do have a Venmo that you can do, but if you call 622-4150,
okay,
we'll get you. We'll either get you tickets right there, or we'll send a board member to you to get the tickets.
And if you get advance tickets, you'll save $15 or $60 in advance.
Yeah.
But if you do space out and forget, come on down Saturday night. It'll be $75. No worries. Your extra $15 going to United Way.
Going to United Way. It's all
this is
going
one that's okay to pay to not get a sale on. We do want to inform people this is a 21 over event because of the drinking, and this is not a family night. This is adult night.
Right. Well, it can be a family night if your children are over the 21.
If you got 21 and over kids, then bring them on down.
Yeah, I have
Make one the DD to get your butt
that's
home.
That's exactly. And if you don't have one, we'll find you one before you if you needed one. That's for sure. But yeah, it's a fun-filled evening. And like I said, we start at 6 o'clock. We want to start with our cocktail hour, and then we open the tables. The tables go for a while, and then after the tables are done, we start doing the drawing for all the different prizes.
Okay.
So that'll
dinner's
happen.
Usually about 7:30.
Yeah, the dinner will be right about probably about 6:30.
Okay,
so yeah, it'll start early because it's kind of a buffet. But we call it a cocktail hour because we live at an open bar for the first hour, right? And then the second time, then you come in and it'll turn to a cash bar later in the evening. Like I said, it's all done by Peppers. Yeah. Peppers, we're so grateful to have them back. It was a great deal.
We're excited for them to. They always do great jobs.
They do a great job. It was such a great thing when the city council voted to let us have outside vendors besides the Civic Center. So it was nice. Gives us an option.
Well, and let's face it, that Civic Center is for everyone, locals and for out of town. And for the big events, it's great to have their own facilities to do that kind of thing. But things like this, that's Roswell. And it's uniquely Roswell. It's traditions of Roswell. These temple events like this one, you kind of come to expect certain things, and having Peppers a part of that is part of that tradition. So it's great to see that's back into the fold.
Yes, we love it, and we love Adam. He's also a board member.
The Rowe family is very big supporters of the community.
Yes, they are.
I don't know how many different organizations have things going on, and there's Peppers supporting
They're
it in some way,
touching
shape,
them
or form.
every way. So so we'll have great food. We'll have great bar service all night, all by Peppers. Well, like I said, we'll be doing dancing throughout the evening.
Yeah.
There's also a photo booth, so you can
have fun with that.
Capture your
Make
memory,
great memories and moments and everything.
Yes, and we
wear
have the whiskey
green.
and wine.
You got to come in green.
And wear green.
This is the whole point of the party, is to come in green, because
Yes.
if not, you will get pinched.
Right.
And probably as the night progresses, the more, because once you have a few drinks in you, you're going to get more pinches.
Right.
So do yourself a favor. Make your green visible. Don't be the green stripe on your sock or green underwear person.
Yeah, I have green eyes. No. And honestly, we actually have some stuff at the door. If you do
Designated
forget,
green.
We have some necklaces, some
Well, you
pins,
can OG.
some hair
so
things.
come in very green, and they'll green you up some more as
we'll
you come in.
get some blinky light headband or something like that.
Otherwise,
to keep
if it's like big glasses or something, you're going to have to wear it all night. And at some point, you'll get tired of wearing it, but you can't take it off because you're only green.
Yeah, right.
So,
I mean, St. Patrick's Day is on the 17th, but this year it's on the 16th here
right.
because of it being on a Sunday.
Well.
We missed out on St. Patrick's Day being on a Saturday because of leap year. So
it's true.
Oh, well.
So you'll use St. Patty's Day to recover.
Right,
Get
yeah.
ready. Get
So
you
you-
rest and recoup for Monday when you head back to school or work in these cases. for
Right, you
everybody.
can celebrate being Irish on Saturday and then recover on Sunday.
It really is a lot of fun.
Really.
If you come and hang out, mingle, come meet some new people. Like you said, bring your date and come that way. Or if you don't have a date, come and meet one.
Yeah,
There's a lot of single folks coming there. If you're looking to, I'm sure they're looking for dance partners and dinner partners too. So
even
come
if
meet some people.
even if you don't want a date or whatever, it's a great way to. You can be single. You're playing casino games all night, so you're really just kind of it's
and if
just
you're-
you
if you're-
having a great time by
if
yourself.
You're local, live here in Roswell, I guarantee there's going to be someone there because
Absolutely.
it's Roswell. And everybody
Roswell.
knows everybody.
That's right.
And it's a very popular event. There'll be a couple hundred people there doing their thing, dancing and having fun.
Right.
Odds are you're probably going to know one or two of them.
Right, exactly. But we want you to get your tickets before ahead of time. And honestly, it works for us because then we know who to expect.
The Rowe family needs a heads
Right.
up, and I know we're days away, and they're probably already pulling their hair like, I need numbers, I
Yes,
need numbers.
yes, we're kind of giving them a little bit of a number today, and then maybe we'll touch on it again on Friday.
Yeah.
We really got inundated at the door last year with a lot of people buying at the doors, so we didn't have it was all the same price. That's why this year we were like, you know what, let's make it more appealing to buy them ahead of time, so we
Save
have the numbers.
yourself $15.
Well, and we weren't ready for them last year. We had to bring tables out and stuff. It was kind of a
it's a good problem to
It
have,
was a
though.
great problem, but we really want you to encourage
Help
everybody.
them out.
It's $60.
Yeah.
It's a fun evening, but $60 a person. It's a fun evening. You can, you like I said, you get dinner, you get a cocktail hour on that. Dancing, everything. Come and enjoy your time.
Probably
and-
walk away with some whiskey if you play your cards.
well,
right?
and you can do that too if you
Yeah.
buy the extra. That's kind of an extra thing you have to buy
but
in the
still,
whiskey and wine
it's
pool.
still a fun thing
It's
to
still
get
fun.
involved
You
with.
take a picture, enjoy your night, and it's just a fun-filled night. And it's all to help United Way of Chaves
Yes.
County.
If you love a lot of things in our community, it is impacted because of events like this. When you see the kids doing scouting and sports, and when you see these other youth organizations, or you see the domestic violence shelter able to do it, help folks that need it, or animals, somewhere. The Humane Society, these other things, whatever your passion is in community, everyone has a passion.
Mm-hmm.
Odds are United Way's impacting it in some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
So please, if you've got a free Saturday night, put on your green duds, get your tickets now, or if you want to procrastinate, we'll take your extra $15. But maybe call ahead. Hey, I'm coming, but I'm paying $75.
Yeah,
so put
maybe.
two down, and I'll
Yeah.
pay $75.
But like I said, you can buy them ahead of time. You
Please
call
do.
us. Call us at the
Yeah.
office, 622-4150. It's United Way of Chaves County. There's also a Facebook you can do. We've set up a Venmo so you can pay that way.
Yeah.
Maybe have the tickets at the door if you don't know a board member. But most United Way board members have tickets available.
In hand and ready to deliver.
go. I have some right here if anybody
Excellent.
wants them.
So reach out, or if you know a United Way board member, just reach out to them, phone, text, however you normally communicate with them, and they'll get you tickets. But the event is Saturday night. It all gets underway at 6 p.m. And please get your tickets now. If not, you're going to have to pay $75 at the door. But please, if you can, if you know we're free, go ahead and call or get online today and get that locked down. That way they can give Adam some good numbers, and Adam won't pull his hair out, so he's got enough know how much food to cook, and that way we don't have as many people overrunning the door here with tickets.
Right. Give us a call. Let us know you want some tickets. Like I said, we have Venmo. Or the United Way office is in Penn Plaza. It's on the second floor of Penn Plaza as well. So if you need to go there, you can do that too.
It's a beautiful building. If you've never been there, it's a good excuse to walk around and check it out.
And we are so grateful to them. They donate that space for us, so we're able to use. And thank you to them.
Nicest building in town. I mean, people could probably make arguments, but it's a pretty classy building.
It's a very nice building. They take care of it very well, and we're very thankful to them for letting us have the space there.
I feel like my posture changes when I walk in that building. It's like, I shouldn't slump in this building.
Well, good.
My grandma's in my ear.
Good for you. Good for you.
But come have fun with us Saturday night. Come dance. Come have great food. Come play some casino games, and let's break records for this year.
Right.
You know how you always see the needle move. You always the progress report. Let's blow the lid off of that thing here.
Let's make it happen. Yeah.
And this event is a big part in doing that. This is, that's what moves the needle most is this event right here. We greatly appreciate the donations, the allotments out of paychecks and all that great stuff. But what really pays the bills is you guys coming out and dancing and gambling and having fun and eating with us here on Saturday.
Right. You just come out on Saturday, 6 o'clock at the Civic Center. Come out and get lucky.
That's right. Who knows? Come out and brag, because you might be the one winning these cool prizes. You might have their clean house.
Right.
I got whiskey. I won a poker. I did pretty good tonight.
Got some great prizes. I'm good to go. So,
and my belly's full of meat. I'm pretty happy.
Yes, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and you don't want to miss it. It really is a fun evening if you can make it. 21 and over.
Yeah.
Come
and if
come
you want to learn more
alone.
about being involved with United Way, reach out to any of the board members or any of the folks that are there kind of running the event. And they'll be happy to talk to you.
Well, we'll be there
and get you involved
all evening, kind of flashing pictures and letting people know the different agencies that we help, as well as the different sponsors that have helped us put this event on, because this event can't just come on by itself.
It takes a group of people.
Yes.
Well, everything you enjoy on Saturday night, a business or organization busted a hump to make sure it is available to you.
Yeah, we have
Whether
a
it's
lot
cooking
of great
food
sponsors.
or providing some of these great gifts to making sure that the gambling's happening, the dancing's happening, everything's happening.
Everything's happening. Yeah, it wouldn't happen without our sponsors and without the community always supporting United Way. So, but this is another way to help out United Way. You can do it and come and have a great time.
Absolutely. So please come out Saturday night again at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. 6 p.m. is when I guess curtains up for the night here.
Right.
Come on out and come ready to eat, dance, and have some fun.
Have a lot of fun. And like I said, if you're looking for tickets, call the United Way of Chaves County office, 622-4150. Log on to Facebook, something like that. Get a hold of any Get Lucky committee member.
If you don't have the number, if you space out, call us here. I'll make sure you get it to you or whatever.
Yeah.
So. And on the interview here, we can have Roy put it in the comments too there so people see it.
Perfect. Well,
Good
great.
deal.
Well, we thank you guys for supporting us always.
Anytime,
doing this.
and glad to see we're getting lucky again and still keeping the tradition alive. So
every year, we'll keep this going as much as we can. It's always around St. Patrick's Day. Again, we can't, St. Patrick's Day is on the 17th every year. So next year, I think it'll be on a Monday. So we'll do it probably before St. Patrick's Day next year. But, look forward to United Way and helping us out if you can.
Mike, I'm going to take a guess, and it'll probably be about 5-6 years when it's on a Friday that you could probably do it.
Well, probably. And by then, leap year will come again.
That's right.
And we're
It'll
going to it all up again.
Oh, well. Well, as always, thank you,
Thank
Clarissa.
you.
We appreciate it. And anything United Way needs to we can help with, let us know. And
Awesome.
We'll make it happen.
We appreciate you. Thank
Good
you.
deal. All right. It is 9:51. This morning's just zipping by. It's almost 10 o'clock already. All right, let's pause for news, your Hannity update, Wall Street business update as well. Don't go away.
Now that the filing deadline passed this week, we know who will appear on ballots for the June 4th primary contests. James Townsend did not draw any opponents for his quest to take over the Senate District 34 position. The Senate District 42 contest will feature Republicans Larry R. Scott and Stephen McCutcheon. The House District 55 race will feature Republicans John Jack Volpato Jr. and Catherine Brown. And there will be a Republican primary for Eddy County Sheriff between Victor E. Martinez and Matthew Todd Hutchinson. The winner of that primary will advance to face Libertarian candidate Andrew Kennedy. Another contested primary will feature 2 Republicans for Eddy County Commissioner, District 3. Republicans Justin Wilson and Philip John Troost both filed to run for that seat. In other news now, New Mexico expanding the reach of a program that includes providing support for housing, health care, and transportation to youths raised in foster care as they turn 18 and age out of the child welfare system. This was under an executive order signed Thursday by Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham. The order, signed by the Democrat governor, is expected to add 20 young adults every year to the Fostering Connections program, who may not otherwise qualify after they move to New Mexico, or because of legal delays, as courts confirm child abuse or neglect and parents surrender their children voluntarily. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
The tool used to measure your feet at the shoe store is called a Brannock device. The person that measures your feet at home for no reason is called a creep with a foot fetish. Here's Mike Winters.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. The Goddard Southwest Baseball Classic got started yesterday, and the host teams, if you consider Goddard and Roswell a host city, they all did pretty well. Goddard knocked off Ruidoso, no problems, 10-0, and will take on Clovis today at 4 o'clock. Clovis beat Alamogordo 11-0. Roswell, meanwhile, pounded Gallup by a score of 17-0. Eli Lynn, 2 home runs. Noah Lynn, 1 home run. Luke Bogle, 1 home run. And Roswell plays Grants tonight at 7. Grants knocked off NMMI yesterday by a score of 4-2. Remember, NMMI got off to a 3-0 start to start the season. Meanwhile, Roswell softball today playing against Silver High School. That starts at 3 o'clock this afternoon. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Relationship before the case can proceed. McAfee found the, quote, allegations and evidence legally insufficient to support a finding of an actual conflict of interest, end quote. But he found there remains an appearance of impropriety. Willis and Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade testified at a hearing last month that they had engaged in a romantic relationship. However, they rejected the idea that Willis improperly benefited from it, as lawyers for Mr. Trump and some of his co-defendants alleged. Jeremy House reporting.
At least 3 deaths reported. Logan County, Ohio, the result of powerful storms that spawned tornadoes across parts of Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. And a lot of people are hurting. Indiana State Police speak of many significant injuries. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell unloading on his Democrat counterpart Chuck Schumer for Schumer's call for new elections in Israel and for his criticism of Prime Minister Netanyahu over the war in Gaza. McConnell suggesting that Schumer should mind America's business.
It is grotesque and hypocritical for Americans who hyperventilate about foreign interference in our own democracy to call for the removal of a democratically elected leader of Israel.
First responders arriving at the scene of a Russian missile attack on a home in Odessa, Ukraine, were themselves hit by a second missile. A paramedic and an emergency services worker among 14 people killed. Some 46 others were wounded in the Russian attack. On Wall Street, the Dow down 51 points. The Nasdaq Composite Index is off 106 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
It's election day in Russia, although the outcome is a foregone conclusion.
If you look at the ballot, there are 4 candidates. It's very obvious that one of them, Vladimir Putin, is towering head and shoulders above the other 3. And he's engineered this absolutely bleak and barren political landscape where there are no serious or realistic contenders who could oust him, kick him out of the Kremlin, because all of the most popular and most vocal opponents of Vladimir Putin, they are in exile, in jail, or dead.
The BBC's Vitaly Shevchenko. There were reports this morning of system outages at McDonald's around the world, shuttering restaurants, leading to social media complaints. Website Down Detector also reported a spike in problems with the McDonald's app over the past few hours. Townhall.com. A bid for school choice advances in Georgia.
Georgia Republicans have powered a voucher plan funding private school tuition and homeschooling through the State House. Thursday's 91-82 vote gets the measure close to becoming law. The same bill failed last year when 16 Republicans voted against it. Thursday, it passed with 1 vote to spare after 7 Republicans and 1 Democrat who opposed the measure last year flipped to support it. Supporters say the bill would create options for children in poorly performing schools. Republican Governor Brian Kemp is backing the voucher plan. Keith Peters reporting.
A truck driver accused of killing a pregnant Amish woman in her rural home is headed to a Pennsylvania courthouse for a preliminary hearing. Pennsylvania judge today is considering whether investigators have sufficient evidence against 52-year-old Sean Cranston to advance the charges to a trial. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tabloid said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. Welcome. Roy got it. Welcome to hour number 3.
Jason Vierno.
Oh, Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Sean does 2 shows at once. So he's in the middle of doing his other show. Now, the one where he's the star of.
You could have stalled. I heard you play that music for a full minute.
I could, but I didn't know how long to stall.
Hey, all right.
So I was like, well, stall. And Roy got you.
You did.
Roy got you.
Good on you, bud.
Yeah.
So, well.
Actually, now.
I just hear in the other room, stall.
Welcome. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope your Friday's going well. It's a different kind of Friday because it doesn't look the same outside with all the cloudy weather and fog and what have you going on out there. But it is Friday.
If you have sensitive eyes, it's nice.
I enjoy
outside.
it. I dig it. I like it. You will never hear me complain. I like this kind of thing.
You have sensitive eyes?
Yes.
Well,
they're different than hungry eyes.
They're slightly.
Yeah.
No, I
that
love
song, Sensitive Eyes.
No, I love cloudy days.
Do you mean like your eyes are just drawn to puppies? Like soft things?
No, it's more like just like when it's sunny outside and bright, like I have to squint.
Is it like your eyes get irritated or you get headaches or
No, it's just like in the morning, my eyes just start like flaring up or something. Like they start burning.
Part of that, because I deal with that a little bit when I get older, I deal with that. But I think part of the whole...
If I don't get a full 8 hours.
Issue is that we're just inside all day in this thing, and then you go out, and then you're so used to fake light or
iridescent.
And then when your sun hits, that's a different kind of light in your eyes. So I think it's like if you're outside already for a hunk, you're good. But I think if you've been in this all day and then go out, that's when I have those...
See, I deal with kind of the exact opposite because I spend a lot of time, I drive around, a lot and just kind of, that's sort of my therapy these days is I'll just go for a drive, so I'm out in the world a lot. But most of the time when I'm going into a place, like I keep my house relatively well lit, but a lot of homes that I visit, a friend's house, a kid's mom's house, it tends to be very dark.
My house. Yeah.
In these houses. Like they use the blackout curtains and they keep it very dark. So for the first... Fair enough. So for the first 4 minutes of walking into anybody's house, I am blind as a bat.
Yeah.
And if you've moved anything, if you've changed your layout in any way, it's going to mess with me.
I will trip over it.
Yep.
So yeah,
Show enough.
Yeah, I just don't like the brightness. Like outside when you just have to squint and stuff. So when it's like overcast, it's wow, I can actually open my eyes.
Yeah. But I've noticed as I've gotten older, I am a little bit more sensitive to that kind of stuff than I was in my youth. But then again, I was also outdoors a lot more too. So I think it's a cocktail of both a little bit for me. So, but I know when I'm in this building all day, and especially like I said, I turn off the lights after the show, so I'm in here, and then I walk outside, and it's kind of like if you've ever seen the movie Varsity Blues. If you remember, they do an all-nighter at the strip club, and they find out their teacher's a stripper. Spoiler alert if you've never seen the movie.
Thanks. It was on my list for tonight.
But the scene where the next morning, after they've been in the strip joint all night, and they just kind of walk out, and they're in the hot Texas sun, and it's like, that's the feeling I get.
Right.
Not to that level, obviously, but that's what I think Roy's talking about. That you get there. So.
I love the fact that Varsity Blues, there was a guy who played, the linebacker, big white dude. I can't remember his name offhand. Chubbier fella.
Oh, he was a lineman. You're talking about the cowboy dude?
Yeah, I can't remember his name offhand.
He's actually passed away.
I know,
yeah.
But he also lost an insane amount of weight before he did.
Yeah, okay.
But anyways.
Yeah, he was an offensive lineman. He was the comic relief. He was the guy that was always in the back of the truck.
Right.
He hung out with the pig. I can't remember.
And this is the funny part. They went to parody that segment or that section of that movie, and they're like, we need somebody that encapsulates this character, but isn't him. And they ended up casting the exact same guy in that role. So he made fun of himself in Not Another Teen Movie.
That's right. I remember him in that. I forgot.
I smell a bet.
Yeah.
They kept track of his concussions on the scoreboard.
That's right. And to be honest, that's the only two movies I can remember that.
He was after he lost all the weight, he was in a couple other things, but he has since passed.
Okay. Yeah, I knew he passed. I knew he
was have to be on camera.
No longer with us. Right, there we go. Our guest is on the way. That's not our guest. They're an employee.
Their voices.
They're an employee.
Oh, okay.
No, that's our very own.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's here today doing work. So she's a visitor. So she brought donuts. Look at that.
Oh, dang.
Dang.
She brought... you got to hide the box, though.
Yeah, you got to hide the box. It's a different day
we do
today.
thank you, but we have to thank the fine sponsors of today's show, McDonald's.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for them donuts from a establishment soon not to be named.
That is...
We will. I will go into a diabetic coma if I eat those. Speaking of delicious foods, though,
yes.
Thank you to the big fine folks at McDonald's, as they do each and every Friday, provide us with delicious breakfast treats. I got a little insight onto the world according to Roy when we were talking breakfast this morning, because I've stated many a time my affinity for the OG of breakfast at McDonald's, the original, if you will,
McMuffin.
the Egg McMuffin with the Canadian bacon.
Right.
Roy was telling me today that he goes, I went up today, changed it a little bit. He goes, I only got regular Egg McMuffins and sausage McMuffins without the egg, because I just realized I had one the other day for the first time, and the egg is too much with the sausage.
The egg, okay, so with the
I disagree,
McMuffin, they use the folded egg. And
I thought they used the white egg.
I'm pretty sure.
No, it's the white. Because everyone I've had, it's the white egg.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's on a McMuffin, it's the white egg. That's the rule.
In that case, I'd actually be okay with eating that egg. But the folded egg always feels like it's too much.
Okay. See, I don't eat a lot of the biscuits. I usually eat McMuffins, and it's the white egg.
Right.
But I me and my meat proclivities. I'm like, no, you will never, and I love egg, so it's to me. But so if you notice a bunch of sausage McMuffins, just because Roy, I guess for the first time, and said he didn't like it. And he said, well, I don't think we should serve these. And I'm like, okay, you do you. You're the keeper of the food.
That's right.
But
you're the procurer of the bag, so you build your own.
My
build your
official
dreams.
stance is put more egg and salt. Put it all in the party. I'm a party guy. Bring it on.
I would concur. You know what? I never thought of literally until we were having this conversation. With the customizability of a McDonald's breakfast sandwich, you really could go with a regular OG Egg McMuffin and add bacon.
Ooh.
You're doubling your bacon. Canadian and American bacon.
Right.
It's a battle of the bacon.
That's right. We call it the Northern Border Sandwich.
It's a civil war and a sandwich.
Or I like to call it Niagara Falls because it goes down smooth.
Did we did fight? Have we ever fought Canada? War of 1812, right?
I saw the Canadian Bacon movie starring John Kennedy.
That's true.
But
that was candied bacon.
Technically, we've had wars but it was the British.
They were
battles in
1812
Canada,
was all that came to mind.
But technically, we were fighting British, not the Canadians.
Right. But they were just, by order of the Queen or King now.
Yeah. But, I think over time there's been a few border disputes between like Canadian towns and American towns to the point where like cannons were fired. It's over history if you look at. But yeah, I don't think there's been like a act of Congress said we declare war against Canada.
They've always just been our friendly big brothers to the north,
Short of South Park.
Or like little brothers.
Short of South Park and Canadian bacon. I don't think we have any actual.
So not exactly connected, but sort of, just because we were talking about by order of the Queen and Britain and all that. Have you been following at all the controversy about
Kate
Middleton?
I found that, because she had the abdominal surgery.
Right.
And then like a week or two, like she's been kind of MIA from that. And then like a week ago, she put out a photo with her and the kid. And then it turns out she photoshopped something on the picture.
It's not even just something. If there's people who have analyzed every detail of this photo, and every detail is photoshopped in some way. All the kids, they point out all the kids are crossing their fingers for some reason.
Yeah.
Which kids are fidgets, so that could be from that. But they put a picture, a cover shot that she did of a magazine from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And they did that thing where they superimpose it to where it's like 0 transparency to 100%, and it's absolutely this photo.
Okay. And then I remember her claiming that she was new and experimenting with Photoshop and was playing around, and then and this was what she didn't realize.
She said the photo that the reason William wasn't in the photo is because he was taking it with his iPhone, but they people online have traced the picture back and checked the details.
Yeah.
Saw that it was taken with the DSLR.
Okay.
So it's not an iPhone. So it's just another hole. So it's just
then of course the official royal family side that releases this stuff's kind of been quiet on it. So
and then there's a picture of her with her mom driving her away from the hospital, and she looked completely different from this picture, different color hair and everything. And it's like it's sort of the same. Wow, sort of the same thing as the Shelley Miscavige thing. It's like if she's around, why not just have her show up?
Right. Well, and this is it. At the end of the day, she might be dealing with some extra medical stuff and doesn't want that in the public. But you know how the public is with the royal family.
Right.
She probably was like, look, here's this. Shut up. Let me heal in peace.
Exactly. Come out bandaged up, set people's mind at ease, and be like, okay, leave me alone.
But that's just that the royal family can't do that. Like they should be able to, but because the way Britain and the media and the press and how that they are looked at, and let's face it, I mean, at the end of the day, the royal family is basically the world's tabloid. Like they have no real function in society other than be a beacon of whatever for England.
Right.
They make no decisions in the day-to-day operations of what goes on in England. They have no ruling authority, not like kings of yesteryear.
And yet
They're
all
literally They literally just go around being kings and queens and royal family and kiss hands and kiss babies and shake hands. Yeah, that's really all their job is. And then because there's so much protocol and decorum with the royal protocols that they don't do things like and they're not they try to be hip one moment and with Queen Elizabeth especially they tried to make her hip a little bit and that was probably her personality where she wants to be a little jokey. That's kind of it seems like people that know her said that was kind of, and so she actually brought down the curtain a little bit for some of this royal family stuff. And at the end of the day, I don't think William and Harry and Harry I don't know about, but William and the king now, I don't think they're built that way. So much. They're playboy behind the scene guys that don't want their dirty laundry aired on public. This is why and so but that because that's not going to satisfy the public. So it's a hot mess.
They are overly scrutinized for sure. Every detail of their life is
I would not
analyzed.
want to be in their lives because of that thing, but but everyone thinks, well, they literally have nothing to worry about as far as food. They have no need for any possessions and everything because all that's taken care of. They get the best of all that, so people automatically give them that. But really, their whole job is to be a public figure, and I don't think these younger generations understand that fully, and so they don't realize that every time one of these people's burp, that the world. I mean, they know, but they fight against it a little bit instead of just all right. Let's we'll keep our mouth shut. Don't say a dang word until it's time to say something. And that's how it is always done. And that people speculate, but at the end of the day, they didn't try to placate or please. And I feel like that Kate Middleton photo tried to do that just to shut everybody up so they could have a moment of peace.
But this, if nothing else,
it just turned into what it turned into.
If nothing else, this is more proof than I've had in a long time that AI, Photoshop, things like that aren't good enough yet to replace.
Oh no.
To replace a person. So
thank God.
It sets your mind at ease at least a little bit.
I gotta be honest. I'm worried of the day when we can't tell the difference anymore, and it'll come. It'll get there. I hope to God there's, it's like in the world of viruses and everything. No matter what they do with antiviruses, there's always a group that's a step ahead. I hope to God, and I feel like the way history does, we will have that group that they can defraud, debunk, you know what I mean?
Break down AI or human.
The hackers of the world will find the workarounds for good sometimes here.
God, I hope so. Knock on wood.
So, points of everything here is be careful of AI. Kate Middleton photo, if you got nothing better to do, that's a good way to kill 2 hours of if you're not. See, my version of that is watching what the Washington Commanders do in free agency. That's my same version.
That's your Royal Watch. And also, thank you, McDonald's.
And big thank you to McDonald's. And you do you with your breakfast sandwich, no matter what Roy tells you. All right, it is 9:20. Elliot Rodriguez with Lone Depot going to join us here in just a bit. But before we do that, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty strong low-pressure system crossing the southeastern states today. We'll be getting some showers and maybe a thunderstorm. Staying cloudy and cool, too. We'll be in the low to mid-50s on the afternoon high. Rain looks pretty likely for the overnight hours, too. Mid-40s and then a few lingering showers on Saturday. We're in the upper 50s. Our low hangs around on Sunday. Showers and 60. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, give him to Sean. He needs them more than I do. 46 degrees. He did more of your stuff, too. Currently, 46 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 71% with winds out of the northeast at 14 miles per hour. If you like rain, I think we're going to get some. The chances are pretty good. I've seen sprinklings and teasings and looks and talks and smells and acts like a duck, but I haven't seen a lot of duck situation yet. But hopefully it's coming. There is a 70% chance at showers today. Skies will be cloudy, and 45 are expected highs. So it's not going to get very warm. Winds will be out of the north at around 15 miles per hour. Tonight, we're looking at a 50% chance of showers. Cloudy with an overnight low of 42 degrees. Northeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. 30% chance of showers mainly before noon tomorrow. Otherwise, cloudy. expect a high of 55 degrees with winds out of the northeast at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday night, our chances of rain bump back up to 70%, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 42 degrees. Northeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Sunday, we're also looking at a 70% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, 54 for a high. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday night, we are looking at a 70% chance of rain, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 40, and a 50% chance of showers Monday when you head back to work and school, mostly cloudy, 53 for a high there. Rain chances lingering in Tuesday and Wednesday of next week as of right now. So, and then back to sunny and 70s by Thursday of next week is what they're telling us here. So we'll see. All right, it is 9:23. We're going to take a 2.5 minute break, and then Elliot Rodriguez with Lone Depot will join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
The University of New Mexico. It's the state's flagship, a world-class university right here in Albuquerque. Apply for admission at UNM today at unm.edu. That's unm.edu. The University of New Mexico is the university for opportunity.
The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop invites you to move on in and check out the fantastic selection of threads, fabrics, and patterns. Take advantage of a huge sale on Brother sewing machines. If you just want to tune up on your own machine, bring it on over for in-house maintenance. And with free lessons at the Calico Cow, you can learn from some of the absolute best. Let's keep the tradition and art of sewing going. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, 200 East College in Roswell, right behind Farley's. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. The market side has lots of new and different items, including new sauces and noodles to enhance your Asian dishes, plus new snacks and more. And the restaurant inside Asian Market has all Nook's favorites from 11 to 5, like wontons, egg drop, rice or noodle soup, crispy calamari, and the best barbecue fried rice in town. Dine in or call ahead for easy pickup. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nook. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call 575-840-5309.
Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture, and I want to tell you about our store-wide sale happening now. All items in every department are on sale. Upgrade your living space with power reclining sofas and love seats or beautiful sectionals with charging ports. Create ambience with amazing table and floor lamps. Get that long-awaited restful night's sleep with the new Serta mattress. Every department is on sale from our existing prices. So come down to Glenn's Furniture on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Pecos Valley Production is excited to announce their online ordering has never been easier because now you can order from PVP online in Spanish. Simply head for PecosValleyProduction.com and switch the tab on the bottom left of your screen from English to Spanish. Now it's never been easier to get access to the healing and calming products you need simply and affordably. Just log on to PecosValleyProduction.com and switch the tab on the bottom left of the screen from English to Spanish. Pecos Valley Production. Dairy to dank since 2016. Must be 21 or over with valid ID to purchase.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Bamboo plants can grow up to 36 inches in a day. So if you're told you're growing like a weed, you can say, "No, I'm growing like a bamboo." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Lone Depot, Elliot Rodriguez back with us. Morning, Elliot.
Good morning, Roswell.
How's life in your world today?
It's not sunny today.
That's right. It is a nice change, though.
But it is Friday. But to me, that don't mean anything because I'll probably be working tomorrow anyway.
Right, so. I say you're probably busier on because your job is and for folks that don't know, Elliot pops in once a month and really comes to help us. Help you and help families procure the financing for when they purchase their home. Of course, Elliot always has a special place in his heart for first-time buyers and really enjoys navigating families through that first-time buying experience and making it a positive experience. So, when they make their next home purchase down the road, whether that's a year from now or 20 years from now, that they're going to, come back to Elliot and be happy. But that's kind of what we do. But, that's something that you work like real estate agents where your time is busier when other people have free time. Because it
makes it difficult.
Yeah. And so a lot of times you're dealing with signing contracts and and going through the what you need to get approved stuff at 6 o'clock at night, or when after people get off work, or on Saturdays when they've got time off to actually sit down and do that stuff.
You get that phone call. It's like, Elliot, I need approval for this person. He just decided to make an offer on this thing. We need approval right now. It's like, but I'm eating dinner.
Yeah. And I'm guessing too, probably most real estate stuff goes down on weekends and stuff.
Let me tell you something. I almost for a moment, you remember when I was at West Fargo, okay? I used to be very big with the after hour stuff with the Red Coach and all that stuff. I wasn't a member of it because it's impossible because I'm too damn busy. Okay?
Right.
Even back then. But I remember dealing with that kind of stuff back then. It's not enough time in the day to take care of stuff.
Sure.
And the same thing happens here, because the agents, are doing this, are doing that.
Sure.
I almost became an agent for a minute, because I was like, you know what? I don't want to do lending. I've done it, been there, done that, have the t-shirt.
You want to kind of specialize in niche
I wanted to try something else,
Yeah.
but I've been doing real estate for 25 years for myself, so it's like, I can do this thing.
Sure.
And I interview about, I interview the firms, okay? Not they interview me.
Sure.
But at the last moment, the wife said, no, go back to lending. It's like, are you sure?
Well, and that's really, and this is kind of getting to where you're at today with Loan Depot. And you kind of, like you said, you did the shopping because when you were here in Roswell, getting people approved for financing.
Correct.
When something goes wrong or right, at the end of the day, they're not yelling at Wells Fargo or Loan Depot or whoever you represent. They're yelling at Elliot Rodriguez.
Oh, trust me. We got this saying, it's always the lender's fault.
Yeah.
Which in reality, folks out there listening, it never is really.
Yeah.
But because I don't have any other agenda but to make sure that you get your house.
Sure.
I mean, seriously.
But kind of this is a testament to who you work for at Loan Depot. You did your due diligence and said, look, I want to make sure I have a company that's going to have the most to offer my clientele.
Yes.
And give them the stability, but the flexibility that, because that's something that doesn't always go together, especially when you get into large legacy or nationwide, tentpole lending institutions.
No, you're right. Because I worked in different places, in different places has different rules. Okay. That makes, let's be honest, make things a little more difficult than what they should be. Okay. Folks out there that don't know the background of what lending is, almost every company has what we call overlays. And you were like, what the heck in God's name are you talking about? What do you mean overlays? Well, you got federal rules and even state rules. And then on top of that, you got the rules that the company may have.
Sure. To protect their interests.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's their overlays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because obviously the feds and the states, they have their rules that ideally.
Yeah, that everybody has to go by.
They're there to protect the consumer and the company, and same thing. So one can't take advantage of the other. But then when you get your lending institutions, and this is where the competitive side, because they're all competing for your dollar.
Correct.
At the end of the day, they make money when they give you money.
Correct.
So they all want your business. And so, but that's the rub, and that's where, and so some are gonna be a little bit more transparent with that stuff. Others aren't, and this is what you get with Loan Depot is you've got all of the conveniences of a national mate. Like if you need something to happen quick, Loan Depot's got the muscle to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
But at the same time, you get the guy like Elliot that's personal, that knows your family, your kids, what's going on, and the stuff what's best for you and your family. And so you get all the bells and whistles that come with Loan Depot, but the personal service and intimacy that a smaller or, having an individual person representing you gets. And so now you get the best of both worlds. You get and this is why Elliot's with Loan Depot, because their track record it's really a grassroots started company that started by other people that were pissed off about all the other way the lending companies were doing stuff. And so it's evolved into a major, player now, but it really did start through people saying, I'm tired of the way the industry does it. I'm going to do it a different way. And that's what Loan Depot builds their reputation on. So
Correct.
you get all that stability, all that. You don't have to worry about your lending institution selling your thing overnight or doing any of that stuff that happens at other companies.
Correct. And we still do sell. I think most of the government loans,
right,
especially like MFA, New Mexico Authority, those are investors' monies. Okay, so usually we're gonna sell those, because we're not gonna keep them in our books. And the reason I know this is because I actually had a borrower that I just talked to, and I helped her buy a house, I think 2 years ago almost, and she was asking me about making a payment, because she has some issues, going into the system or whatever.
Right.
And I like, maybe we sold it because at first I was doing one of those MFA programs, the first time home buying programs for her.
Gotcha.
But there were some changes on her situation that I couldn't use that program. I had to use a different program.
Makes sense.
But I thought, because I forgot, I thought that we did the other program. Like, but you're probably not even, we're not servicing it. And guess what? We're still servicing it.
Nice.
So when I checked, it's like, so we never sold it. Why? Because she didn't do those programs. And I know in last year, in 2022, they were talking about trying to keep 100% of all their inventory. Okay. So what that means with that, folks, is like every loan stays here.
Sure.
But obviously the market changed and all the stuff are happening, so we're gonna still sell some as well, just the same. But we try to keep, a lot of the loans with us. I think we get rid of the, if you may, the one that are a little more risky, if you may, after, and especially
like
the
you said, certain programs and things that evolve or change or qualifications, or that's where it gets. But like your tried and true and all that stuff that stays with the company.
Yeah, but for a minute, I almost became a real estate agent in town, though.
And see, and that's
the funniest thing, though. But when I started looking into it, like, nah.
Yeah, well, and real estate, and this is the thing, and we stress every time. When you go to buy your a house, whether it's your first house or your 50th house, and we tell you this every single time, the first person you talk to is not the real estate agent. The real estate agent will be the next person you talk to. You need to know how much money you can realistically spend.
Because the worst thing that you can ever do, folks, is that if you are looking at houses and you don't really know what you can qualify for.
Yeah.
You are literally setting up yourself for failure.
Yeah.
And you're going to be, disappointed, and we'll even get frustrated.
Sure.
Because you don't even know what you can buy.
And trust me, when you go to the real estate agent first, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, go talk to the finance person. Now, they'll help you. But then again, you're probably at the mercy of their suggestions and things and all that, which may or may not include Elliot. But that's that it just depends. It's the world we live in. But this way, you already kind of set the table at the marching orders of the real estate agent. If you go in and get your financing secure, and then you walk into your real estate agent and say, "Look, I've already talked to Elliot. I'm pre-approved for $200,000. I want to look for a home in that price range."
And folks, let me advocate for the real estate agents for a minute. If you're working for a real estate agent, don't jump from one real estate agent to another. Don't do that to them.
Don't put them against each other.
Yeah, don't put them against each other.
Yeah.
Now, if the real estate agent you are working with, just like the same with a lender, you're not seeing eye to eye. It doesn't seem to be a good fit.
They're not meeting your needs. And get a new one.
Yeah, that's different. But don't use somebody and make them show you 20 houses and then jump to another one because
I bet this one could get me a better deal.
I know,
it's like that's not how it works.
That's not
it doesn't work
that
way. It does not work
because
that way.
that's one of the reasons that I decided not to become a real estate agent. Okay, and this happens to me once or twice here and there, the same just as a lender. But I just didn't feel like the idea of showing houses on a Saturday and a Sunday.
Yeah.
And you was saying, but Elliot, what are you talking about? You working the weekends.
You're sitting in an office on Saturday.
But I'm on my house, though. In my house, I could be on my boxer for all of it.
That's true. You don't have to get, quote unquote,
dressed up and go and see somebody.
Get public ready to go take care of these things.
So that's one thing that I do give the agents credit for because they show houses at 7 and 9 on a Sunday or whatever. You know what I mean?
And you kind of got to have a nice car because, not all the time, but generally you're a chauffeur and everything else.
Imagine somebody show up on a hoosty as a real estate agent.
That's right.
And
if your real estate agent shows up in a broke, beat up car, you're like, I don't think this person sells many houses.
I don't know.
Maybe I ought to go with somebody else. Here.
But again, remember, don't.
They could just be frugal. You don't know. They might be sitting on a duck, Scrooge McDuck pile of money. You never know.
Don't judge a book by its cover because you never know. Hey, I know guys that, me for instance, I try to save as much money as possible.
Sure.
The Jeep that I have, it looks good, but it's not new.
Well, that's just it. I'm never a flashy guy. And my Jeep Wrangler, and I've owned it about 5 years now, and I've been wanting a Jeep my whole life, and I was a 45-year-old man before I said I'm going to go ahead and buy a Jeep. Before I was, riding used cars or doing something, and the same thing with my wife and I. Why we're in our situation we are today is because in the early stages of our marriage, we wrangled that stuff in. We didn't go buy new cars. My wife drove her Ford Contour years after it was paid for and ran into the ground. I did the same thing with a couple cars.
Correct.
I don't know how many times my wife got rolled in. Oh, we can get it. And I was like, yeah, but now that's $400 a month we're paying for that, and we don't. And so then we got and now that we're better off financially. We've got 2 car payments and more. But you know what? We're set up for it, and we're okay with it, and it doesn't break
Well, you
our
evolve
bank.
throughout the years.
Exactly. And we live within our means, even to this day.
And folks, listen to what Mike is saying.
Yeah.
Okay? Mike and I say this all the time.
Yeah.
We started small, and we have evolved to different situations.
And unfortunately, we live, I think younger generations don't fully grasp that concept. They kind of feel like I go right into the thing and I want all it's like I want to jump into a company, but I'm not here to be an employee. I'm here to be president.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, you will one day, but you got to start here and in the mailroom or whatever and learn how the sausage is made before you lead the group. and I think there is a little bit of a disconnect with younger generations on that, and that translates to everything in life. They're used to having it now. And whereas we grew up in a world where, they tell us things like good things come to those who wait, kind of that was the mantra they tell you.
Do your part.
Yeah. And really, and to be honest, life works best with a balance of that. There are times you got to be aggressive and go for it. And but at the same time, when it comes to the big picture, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And you got to think of it that way. If you're looking to risk and gamble here, and it's like, okay, and I'm not saying there's something wrong with taking a gamble. There might be a good time to take the gamble, but think of it in the big picture. What's the impact of this gamble? What's the worst thing that can happen if you fail at this? And are you willing to accept those consequences if that's what it is? And if you're not, then maybe you need to think of a different avenue to pursue.
So when your agents tell you go and get approved, they're telling you because they don't want to be showing you houses that you don't know if you can buy. Okay.
Right.
So don't do that to them.
And that's another thing. And this is getting back to Elliot versus where other people in his position may not do is and even though they could look on paper and go through all your numbers and say I can get you in for $250, but you know what that usually means? That's if you basically strap out your expenses. And if you want other ancillary things like, I don't know, a new couch to go in your new house or furniture, because ideally it's a bigger house than what you're doing before. You're probably going to need more things to fill it. And if you spend all of your quote unquote ceiling on the house,
you're not going to have no room for nothing else.
Guess what? You're going to either have to go crazy in debt or live on shoe boxes and
unfortunately, the market have changed to a place that almost everybody's taking it to the max.
Yeah. Now, if you're willing to do that, and if you're single, maybe that's not a bad thing. But if you're with a wife and kids or a husband and kids,
you better listen to your lender.
Then you might want to play a little safe because you're not just dealing with you now. Now you're dealing with a spouse and your future, your children.
Yeah.
And you may not mind living off egg crates in a big house, but they might have a problem with that, or they don't, and so your priority, you got to understand what you want to do with life, and your big picture should always be going towards that. And if it's if a decision you're making doesn't go towards that, either reconsider what you want to do or reconsider what you're doing at that moment. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And that's when it comes to buying a house or buying a car or getting a new job. It's the same thing in life. And that's what Elliot is selling you is a life skill. He's teaching you how to manage, in the big picture, your money. Because yes, we're talking just about a house, but as you say every time, a house is arguably the biggest purchase most people make in their lifetime. You plunk down an agreement to give somebody $100,000. That's the biggest thing you've ever probably going to do in your life.
I closed a deal yesterday, folks. That it's funny because the guy and the wife said, "Yeah, we're going to be doing better now." You know why? Because they were doing everything wrong before. All right, and it took a little doing. to actually get them approved the way they needed to be.
Yeah.
Because they did a few mistakes, that I don't know where they got the information from.
Yeah.
If you're not getting the information from a lender directly and you're just getting from a friend, a relative, or whatever, I'll always have said this. Their situation, whenever they did it 6 months ago, last year, or whenever they did it, or whatever they're getting the information they're giving you, may not be the situation you're sitting on.
Absolutely.
So that's why you need somebody like me to be able to tell you where you are.
Right.
Okay. And if there's things you've been doing wrong, you know what? I think outside the box. I'm ex-military, folks. We take it out of the box. We fold it all
That's
over
right.
real nice and neat. And now a lot more stuff fit in the box.
That's right.
Okay.
We're always about coming up with a plan no matter
You
what.
have to think a little outside the box and put it right back in.
Absolutely.
And in the end of the day, if you listen to my lead, trust me in what I'm telling you. I'm not going to tell you to break the law anyway because I don't do that in my office. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
If anybody's thinking about that, Elliot was going to bend the rules. Not really, guys.
Well, it will always catch up with you.
It really does.
You may get away with it once,
It
twice,
really does.
3 times, but tell guys like Bernie Madoff. That's exactly how these people get in these.
That's the best example right there.
That's how these people get in these pickles. Is one thing, it pulled off, and then begats this, and now they're in this snowball they can't get out of. And next thing you know, the Ponzi scheme line's been. But that's just it. Anytime you go shady in the financial world, you may even pull it off once or twice, but eventually it's going to bite you in the butt. Some point, and it may not be 20 years down the road till you're trying to do something else, and then that thing creeps back up in your world.
I got a new officer in my office, and I tell him one deal is not worth your license and the rest of your career. Okay, so it's tied up the shoes and tied up the belt and like, hey, sorry, you can't. But if you do this,
I know Wolf
you
of Wall
could.
Street's a fun movie, but it all ends the
doesn't
same.
work that way. Yeah,
it all ends
as you
badly
can
with-
see, folks, and even on the movie, he didn't last it.
Didn't end well there either, but it was a fun ride. Though,
He had a
right?
fun ride, but in the end, he still paid the piper.
Yeah.
No, but the folks, don't be afraid of going out there and doing your thing.
Sure.
It's been very interesting because the market is higher.
Sure.
Okay. We were hoping that the interest rate would get better by now.
Sure.
Okay, because the first quarter, hopefully going after this quarter may get a little better.
Well, it's an election year too, and that always makes
But I'm a
things
little surprised because it was negative, got a little better. Negative, better, negative. It seems to be like it goes more negative than anything else.
Sure.
And for the past 2 weeks or so, maybe 3 weeks, it got a little better.
Sure.
And then in one day, they just almost took it all back out. It was like,
and at the end of the day, all the variables about public opinion and how they feel confidence-wise about the financial world,
Yeah, but
that greatly impacts those numbers.
With the
If they're
Feds
nervous, then they're not gonna loosen reins.
I
If they're
know.
nervous, they're not gonna do it. There's a reason billionaires are billionaires, and it's not because they make bad decisions all the time.
But in the end of the day, folks, don't think about buying a home about what's happening in the market.
Sure, if it's your life.
Yeah, because you adjusted to your situation.
Absolutely.
And you should be able to buy a house either way.
Something I see a lot on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call that now, is if you go into the feed where they like, we recommend you check these out kind of thing, not the ones you follow, but the we think you'll like these side of it. I see a lot of these videos of young people, generally 20-somethings, and all of them are complaining about the same thing, about getting a home and being a homeowner. And in today's world, it's not like our parents where we paid 50 cents for a home or whatever. They kind of give it like, well, times are different than they were for us now. It's not, you can't do it the way you do it. And I see those things, and I understand their frustrations because you're right. There's certain aspects of the world that are not the same they were when we were younger. However, the formula of which you succeeded, in which I'm succeeding, in which any other person can succeed,
It doesn't change.
Does not change. It's all about the money you take in versus the money you put out there.
Exactly.
And people that say, well, I don't make enough money to put out there. And it's like, yes, you do. Now it comes to being on lifestyle choices and gets back to what I was telling you. What is your goals and what is your end game? And every decision you have to make from this point forward either is going to get you closer to your goals and end game or get you farther away. Now, how bad do you need an iPhone 12 with the top Verizon plan or AT&T plan on there? Or can maybe we get an iPhone 10 and maybe get the cheap wireless one that the old people pay $50 a month for because we don't need all the garbage that comes with the other one. You know what I'm saying?
As you guys hear, he's an iPhone. I'm an Android guy.
Right, but these are the points I'm making.
I know it's very true.
It's like well, you can afford it if you just realize what your true priorities are. And what
let me give you a good example. I have individuals coming into my office, and they have $800, even $1,100 or $1,200 car payment.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're talking about home, and they're like, "Oh, but that's too much." They're like, "You need to go and trade in your vehicle or refinance that car because why are you paying more than where you're going to live?
Why do you have
that's backwards?
$70,000 pickup truck that you barely use as a pickup truck? Well, and even if you needed a pickup truck, go buy a used one.
You know, that's a good point.
You know,
I would like maybe you should do some kind of collect some information because that's true.
Yeah.
How many people have pickup trucks that they don't really use as a pickup
do you
truck?
really need that, or you just want to look cool to your other buddies that you got a big pickup truck?
Very true.
And they spend all their day washing and cleaning them. Like, do you do any actual work in this thing?
I remember driving through a neighborhood and I saw like Homers, big crazy trucks, and the houses they're a little depleted, they're a little like run down. It's like, why do they have such a vehicle? I mean, it's like explain that to me.
When I was in the military and I was in Kuwait,
okay.
You see that a lot.
It's the same thing?
Where people literally live in tents.
Okay.
And they got a Mercedes sitting out in the driveway. It's literally that crazy.
I know.
Now, granted, it's Europe and Mercedes are a little different than they are here, but
I get it.
They literally live like nomads in a portable tent that they can pack up and put in the trunk of their Mercedes while they're driving in a $70,000 car and they live in a
craziest
tent.
thing.
But yes.
But what Mike said is true. You have to put your priorities in place.
Sure.
If you need a home, okay, it's time to prioritize that's the most important thing.
Sure.
Folks, you could buy a vehicle, you could buy toys, all kinds of stuff after you have your house.
Absolutely.
Okay. So if you want to buy a home, get with your lender, get with me. I'll tell you what you can accomplish. But hold on a little before you go and buy that expensive vehicle. Get yourself a house first.
And this is the thing, and we have to learn that it was no different for us as young people. We said the same thing that y'all are saying when we were kids.
Yes. The only thing that have changed is people used to make a little less money then.
Yeah.
But if you look at the market and what it was 25, 30 years ago, it has evolved to the same situation. It doesn't matter.
And I understand what you think because you and I actually both grew up in the consumer world, where the world of, people rushing out for Cabbage Patch Kids and that type of world that's kind of, we grew up as children in that world. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I understand the keeping up with the Joneses mindset because we grew up in that world too. However, this is where you've got to be disciplined. What's more important to you, keeping up with the Joneses or having an awesome home and a thing for yourself when you're 10 years from now or 5 years
Very
from
true.
now? And I'll ask you again. It's like, great. And you say, well, I still can't. But, okay. Do you need Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Amazon Plus? Oh, and a cable subscription? Oh, and Apple Plus and all that? You're spending $250 a month just on TV alone right there. Do you really need all that?
Yeah.
Or do you want a house?
So, folks, if you're going to buy a house, like I always say, if you had that itch that say, you know what, it's time for me to have a home.
Yeah.
Get with me. I'll tell you, and I'll tell you what you can afford. If you got too much debt, I'll tell you what to do. Don't start paying things off or nothing like that, because sometimes that makes it worse.
Especially debt that you don't have anything at the end of the day for.
Yeah.
Like all these utility services, your streaming services, you're creating debt for yourself, and at the end of the day, you have nothing tangible to show for it. At least with a car, you can sell it at the end of the day if you don't get it.
Correct.
Now you got nothing. You literally have, and you have a bunch of access to watch some other people's movies. And so you have nothing. So get rid of all that stuff. And I'm not saying if you can afford it, have it. But if your end game or your goal is to get in a house and that's what's holding you back,
you could sacrifice that for a while.
Exactly.
And get yourself a home.
Yeah.
Trust me, we'll tell you what to do. And there's still programs going on that we can help you. If a lot of people not buying a home because you think you don't have no money, that's okay, folks. Come with me. I'll tell you some of the programs that are
Especially
available
if
to
you're
help
first time
you.
buyer
Yeah.
and things like if you're a teacher or military
If
or
we-
law enforcement, there's programs just for you.
And you know what the bad thing is? When you and I were younger, some of those programs were available. We just didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the one thing that we can say going back 25, 30 years plus, okay, is that the information age has totally changed.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, it's good to go on Google and get some information, but when you go and see a loan officer or when you talk to a real estate agent, please, it doesn't matter how much information you have. Don't try to act like you know more than them. That's the biggest mistake you can actually do.
And
because they got the experience.
Well, and here's two. It's like what you're talking about is like the doctor's version of WebMD. And what I mean by that is, yeah, the internet will tell you a lot of stuff, but it may not be accurate or apply to you in that circumstance. And so if you read something on some guy on TV or somebody telling you some great stock tip or financial thing,
yep,
and you just basically poo-poo the person that literally does this every day and does nothing but go through computers looking for programs for people, maybe
a good example,
you should shut your hole.
A good example of that was Dr. House, the show.
Yeah.
He in his show he has a few patients that are Google savvy and they know so much that they diagnose their own problems.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and the funniest thing is like you have to see his face expression because it's like and like you know he
does the things we all want to do.
Exactly. He just tell you,
but
right?
we can or don't. He does it.
It's hilarious because he like
said the
tells
thing.
them like, okay, oh, so you haven't accused that? You haven't accused what? You had that?
Yeah.
Wrong. You don't have that.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah,
it's funny, but folks.
But you're right, and so like I said, Elliot and people that like him that have been doing this. They this is what they do all day. Listen to their expertise. Listen when they talk about programs and things. Trust me, this is what they do. Is keep tabs on the latest, the greatest, what's changing with this is their job. This is what they do so when you walk into the door and you're looking for a home, they've got this at their fingertips or readily available. You might be perfect for this.
And folks, one thing that we need to start thinking in our minds is it's not about which program you can use and can do. It's can you buy a house? Okay? If you can buy a house, maybe there's one program only that you can use.
Sure.
Okay? You know, and what I do is try to figure out which program, fits you the best.
Sure.
Okay? But if there's only one program, maybe listen to that loan officer. Listen to your real estate agent. Because the fact of the matter is, this is just to get you into your home.
Exactly.
Okay?
That's the part is, especially first-time buyers, you're just trying to get into the game. Because once you're in the game, you're in. But you got to get in the game.
Exactly. He says this all the time.
Yeah.
You become part of the game. Now you can evolve to a different, level of what you... Just look at it as video games. You go from one level to another until you maximize and you win the game, right? Buying a house is just the same.
Right.
Okay.
At first, level 1 is a box with a door and 2 windows. Level 2, we put a porch on that box with 2 windows. Level 3, then we got a pool.
3-car garage.
We're putting another box here to add another bedroom. That's literally the life we live.
So what? Yeah. I mean, and I said it last year. I had people that were approved for that $25,000 guys. I mean, I wish I would have had a grant or knew any grants when I bought my first home.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known that. Thank God that I was very savvy and I used my VA and all that kind of stuff. But still,
that's just it. I know certainly for me, and I'm sure we're literally telling you things we've done bad ourselves, and we're literally like my credit was a complete hot mess when I was in the military and everything else because I was learning how to be stupid and I was learning to not be stupid. But I learned how to be stupid first before I learned how to not be stupid. And
so we've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Have the T-shirt,
and
guys.
so I had to do stupid to get out of stupid. And what I'm telling you is avoid stupid. And your time to sacrifice is now. Is prioritized. Prioritize what you want, and then when you walk in, tell Elliot your plan, and Elliot will help you put a roadmap to get to your plan.
To say mildly, our favorite actor on Forrest Gump, stupid is, stupid does, so
That's
don't
right.
do. Okay?
That's right. I swear, we're not doing this because we think it's fun. We've literally done these dumb things, and we're telling you It's not a good idea. We did it. Avoid what we did. Do it right the first time.
So if you have a 580 credit score or higher, and even lower, I can go lower too, folks. I'm probably the only one in town that can go as low as 520 credit score, by the way. Okay. There's more in detail that I had to go into that, but I still can help somebody.
It can be done.
And I've done it a bunch of times. But folks, the one thing you have to really, really, truly worry about, and don't think about that, man. If you're not in the job for 2 years that you have right now, you don't qualify. No, that's been a myth that has evolved incorrectly. No, you have to have 2 years of history of employment. Okay, not on the current job, history of 2 years of employment. Okay, very important to know that. And if you have a job that you work full time and you have history working 2 years plus, right there is the beginning. You can buy a house probably.
If you think of it in this term, is you've got a company that's going to give you the largest amount of money probably you've ever received in your life.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't do that willy-nilly without maybe trying to find out if you're a stable or that we're going to get our money back.
I know.
And so all the stuff you're telling them about the history, it's establishing a history with you, saying this person has a reputation that I can give them $200,000 and they're not going to run off with my $200,000.
I got a guy that sent me an email yesterday. I left my job. I don't have the pay stubs. Like, well, you better pick up the phone and call your old job and get it. I mean, it's not an optional thing.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
If your loan officer is giving you a list of what is needed, it's because we need it.
It's not a suggestion list. It's like, you want the money. These are the rules. These are the things I need.
It's the funniest thing.
It's like getting a job. If you don't fill out the application, you probably won't get the job. And you go, well, I don't want to fill it out. Great. Well, then you ain't getting the job. Well, this is how this works. Well, you don't have the pay stubs? Then guess what? I can't give you $200,000. It's not going to happen.
Oh, and let me give you guys another tip to keep in mind. If you don't have credit, folks, it's not the worst thing in the world either.
Yeah, credit.
I actually have options for that too.
Yeah, well, and and by the way, if you do come to see him and you've got the 500 credit score to do this, and he's saying, I can get you in the home, but here's the thing. Clearly, you're not doing things right because you have a 500 credit score.
So let's fix this. Let's fix that.
Let's listen to Elliot, and guess what? Your 500 credit score is going to turn to a 700 credit score pretty quick. If I know buying the house, getting approved, and paying your bills on paying your mortgage will definitely help that. But you'll also create a path for getting out of the other debt and everything else.
And I do it all the time, folks.
Yep.
I'm not a credit person to help people's credit. Okay.
Yeah.
But I have enough knowledge, and I actually have tools in my.
Sure. The formulas that it takes to make your credit good.
Exactly.
And the things that you do and teach them and show them are the result. Your credit goes up because all of a sudden you're a more attractive. And that's all this is. Your credit score is your report card saying, is this guy a good credit risk or not? Can we donate, or can we give this person money, or you better steer clear because they're gonna botch it.
And there's credit companies out there that a lot of lenders send people to those credit companies to fix their credit.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't do that. You know why I don't do that? Folks, you're my client.
Yeah.
Okay? Knowledge. I got the tools.
Yeah.
Why would I send you somewhere? Why? Because I'm too busy?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. The business is never going to end. So.
That's right. I do this here and do it myself. You're absolutely right.
Why am I going to send you somewhere else when I can tell you what to do?
Absolutely. Because I'm doing it in my own personal life and I have a success with it. And now I'm showing you what I can do.
And I got the tools to do it too.
Absolutely. So we're out of time. It's already, I just looked up, it's 10 o'clock. I was like, dang. So if you are looking for a home, or were you thinking about it, or you're like, I'd love to, but I got to be honest, I don't know if I'm ready yet. Set up an appointment. Talk with Elliot. Let him tell you where you're sitting at and be like, you know what? You're farther along than you think. We could pull this off. Or you know what? A couple little things here. Talk to me in 6 months, and guess what? We could start looking for houses for you.
And I say that to people all the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what you do.
People don't realize just you could buy a house.
You don't. If you can't get them in a home right away, you're like, look, I'm not done with you. Good luck to you. Come see me in a month. If you do this, this, and this, and I can get you in a home.
Exactly.
So reach out to Elliot. You can call him direct. You can call him on a cell direct, 719-237-4680. Again, that's 719-237-4680. You can call his office number. He is a man on the go, so if you do get the voicemail, please leave a message. He will return your call as soon as humanly possible. 505-445-2680. 505-2070. Again, 505-445-2070. And if you like to do your things in the comfort of your underwear, you can check him out online, too. If you go to his office, please wear pants. He does like that. But go online. You can check out his website, which is www.loandepot.com/Elliot Rodriguez, all one word. He spells Elliot with one L, so Eliot, and a Z at the end for Rodriguez.
Correct.
And you can see that's his website. So you can learn all about what Loan Depot service is, but then learn about Elliot's track record, personal his experience, and all the things he does and services he can provide you. If you have questions, you can also shoot him an email. Pretty close to that. It's Elliot Rodriguez, again, all one word, one L, one Z at the end there, at loandepot.com, and you can get an email, and he'll get it right back.
And you can look me up on Facebook, too.
He does
everything.
Facebook, yeah.
You could even this interview I even post them.
Yeah,
so
we'll
there
have
too.
them up there, and you can go back and check them out and stuff. So please reach out, even if you just want to pick his brain and say, "I heard you on the radio this morning, and I'd love to do this, but my circumstances, I don't think I'm there yet, or am I?" If you're, and I'm telling you, if you're in the rent game and you've been doing this stuff for years, you're not doing yourself a service, because you're investing in someone else's future every time you do that. Because when you own your home and you make that mortgage payment every month, you're paying yourself a little bit in the value of your house.
Invest in yourself.
Whereas a rent, you're paying that little bit to the guy that owns the house you're living in. That's what
you're helping him.
Yeah. You're helping that person and not you. So. Did we get it all, Elliot?
I think so.
Awesome. As always, appreciate the visit.
No, thank you for having me.
Have a good weekend, and stay warm and dry, and we'll see you, next time. Yeah.
The spring is just trying to cash in. It's not in yet. Summer's not here yet.
Yeah. We're thinking summer. We think it's spring, but technically it's still winter.
That's very true.
We're like, got summer dreams, and we think it's spring, but technically we're still summer or winter in New Mexico.
No, if you're in the market to buy a house, don't hesitate.
Absolutely.
We'll help you out. We'll set you the right direction.
Well, he will put it this way. Listen to Elliot, work with him. He will put you in a good situation.
I'll give you my word on that.
And set the table for whatever dreams or goals you have for yourself. Let Elliot put that foundation there for you to do that.
I have one saying, I don't take dreams away, I actually give them.
That's right. Or create new ones for them.
Yes,
maybe,
sir.
Maybe you have a dream you haven't realized yet, but you just didn't realize it because you didn't have a foundation to see it.
Yes.
Let Elliot create that foundation. So appreciate it, sir. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
All right, it's 10:04. I better really shut up before I cut into actual, just cut into news now. So I'm not too in trouble. But thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have an amazing day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. Have a great weekend, everybody.
NASDAQ is off 151.